That's something. He got the golden child hat on, though. Tell you that much.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what does he wear? It looked like he got that straight out of Martha Stewart's collection.
All right.
And then what this guy got on?
Okay,
I'll fuck with that, though.
That a Gucci
So this is what we're doing.
We're
We're watching ESPN football.
Yeah, we're going to roast these.
Okay. I just want to know where we at for the day. Okay. You know, what
The brothers got on hats, the white people don't.
I'll fit
I mean, negative 10 degrees outside. We know the situation.
Y'all have zero focus. Y'all have zero focus.
Okay? Man.
That's just how
we
they are.
good. What's up,
man,
brothers?
We are
What's
right
up,
here in the infamous downtown Prentice Row area.
Prentice Row.
You know what they call
I
it?
don't know about infamous. Don't talk about it like it's O Block, goddammit. You know what I'm
The
saying?
minute I started moving around in these pods, it got infamous.
This is Roblox,
Be clear. But yeah, man, shout it out to big brother Kelly, man. One time, man. You know what I'm saying? We in his great shop, man. Styles on Clark. You'll see the logo and all that within the edits, man. But and then we got to our left, the super smooth brother. You see, you know what I'm saying? My man got 3 different types of wrist situations just to show you, you know what I mean, the levels to the game out here, man.
Okay.
Give it up for my brother Mark Anthony.
Mark Anthony. Wait a minute. Mark
Anthony.
Mark Anthony is a pretty important name. The guy-
Marco Antonio.
There
Yes,
you
sir.
go. Do you sing?
Negative.
you-
That's negative.
Do you speak the language? Man, got that.
It's small, man.
Do you model?
Paquito. Yeah, I used to.
See, there you go.
I was signed. Yes, sir.
You own the name now. There you
Yes,
go.
sir.
Model?
Yes, sir.
That
Yes,
way-
sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
I
Long
bet-
time ago, back in college, is how I got through.
Now, when we say model, we don't mean like, had to do some things for tuition.
Calvin Klein.
Okay, all right.
Nah,
Checking that. All right,
nah,
brother.
yeah. Actual shoes, extra work,
Find out.
movies. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing strange for a piece of change. We not out here like that.
No West Coast Productions here, buddy.
Nah,
No Invasive Angels.
I got close though.
really?
Why do you know all the
Real
names?
close. I
I'm a
got
dirty
real close.
motherfucker.
You know all the names of all the production companies.
All right, man.
Research.
What it say for research purposes only?
Research. Yeah, put that at the bottom when you do the edit.
Wow.
All right, so the first thing that we do, man, obviously the Corner Convo, we do not interview, we have a conversation. But as I understand it, you are from Chicago, so I have to ask, what high school did you go to? Because that is very important. It's more important than what college you went to.
So I didn't grow up here.
You didn't grow
I
up
was
here.
born here.
Born
so as
here.
a military brat,
Okay.
I moved around. So I was in and out of suburbs and then the west side of Chicago. And then when I went to high school, we moved further west to Proviso East. And then that's when
Say it a little louder. Say it one more time.
further west.
This is
Further west to
where?
Proviso
To where?
East.
To
Proviso
East?
East, yeah.
Proviso EAST. That one.
But,
Okay.
yeah,
Now
when
I-
we
now
came
I-
back to this, that's
Now
where
I
we went.
understand.
Yeah,
Now I understand.
So do you
I
have
actually low-key
any
didn't know
loyalty to Chicago?
Not really, nah.
So because you're born here, you don't have to root for certain teams, right?
No.
Thank you.
No. I mean, I had a different school every year, so I was in different states and countries.
When did you leave? Like, when did you leave?
I left
there?
here when I was in second grade, and
Okay.
then I didn't come back until high school.
So you knew your colors, you knew up to number 20. So yeah, okay, you're still
All
young.
right, so look, I'm not gonna shit on Proviso East right there. Did you
You
graduate from East
can't.
too?
No.
I mean, you
You
get.
did. Okay,
give
so
it
you
a
was just
shot.
there a year,
Like 2 years.
2 years.
Mhm.
Did y'all cross paths?
No,
No,
what year?
not in
You
school.
were
Not in school.
Yeah,
not
no.
in
I think
school.
I'm 3 years
Yeah,
older.
you
than
were ahead of
yeah.
me. Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. Okay,
Yeah.
I needed some intel about some shit.
No. I know what he was like. Nah, bro. I can't.
Here go
I
the
can't
bullshit.
give you that. I
Here's
can't
his
give you
best
that.
part. He got all the intel he ever needed. He just be looking for more. Like there's some skeletons that ain't
Like
been
something you got
uncovered. Like,
hidden.
yeah, for
This
sure.
one time,
He done
man,
heard
2
it.
years, right?
Yeah.
Right?
And you only there
I
for
ain't got-
4
I ain't got
years. It
them
ain't that much
stories.
that can be
I
hiding.
ain't got them stories.
It's all good. It's all good.
Well, you sound like me though, because I went to one high school and another high school. I went to fucking 7 grammar schools.
Yeah,
I
I had like
crazy.
9,
That's
10.
because they kept kicking your ass out.
Now, do you
man.
think that made you more diverse, or did you hate it?
100%.
Okay.
I mean, it's a double-edged sword, right? So I had no stability because the foundation was weak. So
Right.
I always had to move. Whereas kids who had, their household and their
friends.
entire life,
Boom,
they got
boom.
friends they grew up with. I have none of that.
Right.
But it made me be able to like articulate myself very well and then engage with people randomly. Like I can go to a party or something by myself because I had to make friends every year.
This is facts.
So think about like going to a new school. You the new kid every year.
Every
and
year.
I had
That's
to
kinda
leave
fly,
and come-
though.
You get
I
tired
mean,
of
it's all right.
You
No,
get
but
tired of them questions, don't you?
Yes,
Hi, I'm
yes.
Mark. I am from man. Leave me
I just said, don't get to know me. I'll be gone by the summer. It's all good.
That's
We cool.
hilarious.
He said leave me alone.
Yeah. But I always had a fresh start, man. I was always like able to adapt, and figure out,
That's
okay,
interesting.
well, I was a nerd one time. Let me be cool this time. Like I could like
You
flip it.
got to play different
reinvent
characters.
yourself, huh?
That's
That's
kind of dope. I
interesting,
like
too.
The
that.
Great Gatsby.
Yeah, he do that every week. He do that every week on this show. Yeah, he
Complete chameleon, man.
Apparently, he was a musician last week.
Yeah.
Year before that, he was some kind of coach. And nobody knows.
Okay, yeah, that's what's up.
Nobody knows what am I going to be.
You gonna-
Even
Y'all-
Every new episode is a new
Y'all
opportunity.
starting already,
You know what
huh?
I'm saying?
Absolutely.
to lie.
Hey, man.
How was y'all weeks, man? How was y'all week, bro?
Let's start with you. How was your week?
Damn. Hey, who?
Because I know you got some amazing shit. People love your
Nah,
stories.
he been off. He ain't did a damn thing.
Well, the shit I've been doing, I can't tell you motherfuckers really all that shit, you know what I'm saying? I really can't tell you all that, but it's been pretty good, man. On a sad note, really quick, my uncle passed a couple days ago.
Damn.
So my mom, older brother, Sydney. So Derek, Sydney Jr., and Lindsay, the family loves you guys, man. And get love from the corner. And that's it, man. We gonna keep each other in prayer. Those that do pray, you always got to support. Our condolences, man. This is her second brother. She's buried in 2 months.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So, but like he was talking last week, he said, man, about the Deion Cole the 50 Club. I'm not 50 yet, I'm 44. I think I'm 44. Yeah, I'm 44. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Man, fuck time.
we
time is going, man, fuck time, bro.
No, we 43, bro. We 43. We'll be 44 this year.
What?
What are y'all, twins?
Yeah, no, because
I'm 44.
I'm older than you, though. So
I was born in 78.
I was born in 78. Fuck you mean?
Don't worry about it. My
Also,
uncle
he not good at math.
It's okay. You know what I'm saying?
He not good at math.
You see what I'm saying, though, right?
Yeah.
No, I'm not 44, bro. I'm 44. You're 44, sir. That's crazy. Okay. But, all right. I'm going to have to do the math.
No, you don't. I'm doing it for you. I'm doing it for you, bro. Big fofo, bro.
That's great.
Yeah, that's all right, though. Man, anyway, man. But week was good, chill, man. I forgot what I did this week. That's how much fun it was. Forgot what I did, man. But I'm here doing what I enjoy doing with you motherfuckers every week. It's a real thing, man.
No doubt, no doubt. How about you, man? How was your week?
It was cool, man. Just worked and slept.
We're gonna get into what you do for a profession.
A lot of work.
So you 9 to 5 type of work, or you like the phone rings? I gotta get on business.
Yeah, there is no. I wish it was a duration or a stop start.
Right.
It's just work. Yeah, we gonna get into it. But
yeah.
But that's it, man. PS5 too for life.
Really?
For life. Yeah.
PS5. I haven't played anything.
I have to, man. I got separated
Since PS2.
2K and Madden.
It had to be Madden, bro.
Yeah,
like
Madden's
in college, it was all Madden. That's how I got a little bit more money. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I don't play any sports games at all no more on my PS5. It's all Mortal Kombat. I go online, be fucking these little boys up, these little girls up, these old people up.
See, I can't, man. Them little 11-year-olds be killing me, man. So I can't.
Because they have nothing but
games.
time. Yeah. They have nothing but time.
And energy and dexterity. I can't keep up with none of that.
I'm gonna give you 6 for dexterity.
Man, I was trying to play my students early today in speed. I was getting whooped, bro. I was like, I used to be the king around here on speed
Reflexes,
table.
boy.
Yeah, exactly. You can't see the card or the number, the color.
You ain't got no
the same
kids, though,
speed,
right?
none.
You can't even blame it on that.
That he
You
know
can't
of.
even blame it on being a dad. Like, at least I can say that. Like,
No,
I'm a dad,
I
man.
can
So
blame it
I'm
on-
kind of old with it.
I can blame it on teaching at least 1,500 of these moms over the last 10
You got other people
years.
kids.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, forever, apparently. Yeah, a whole nother story about that. But my week was simple, man. My week was simple. We get into that last, this is always the toughest week as a teacher.
Holiday push.
It's just like, you got really 3 sets of things going on. You got parents who are pretty much ready to stop bringing their kids to school.
Right.
And they come up with the reasons not to do that. You got students who don't want to be there. You got teachers who, we gonna be
Don't
there.
wanna be there.
And maybe if I want to be there or not, it don't really matter the amount of energy I have to put in when I know the other 2 things are at play where you don't want to be here and your parents don't even want to bring you here. But at the same time, your grades is due. And you want all opportunities to get in this last minute little makeup work and all that. So it's tight, man, because you don't want to plan nothing new. Because half the students gonna be gone, or not necessarily half, but some students gonna be gone. You don't want to make that a disadvantage for them,
Right.
But you also got to have something, because when you get there, the kids that did show up, they be mad as hell. Like, what you mean you ain't got nothing to do? Why I'm here? So it's a catch-22 in that regard. But and we had testing this week, so.
Which testing was this?
Like reading tests, diagnostic testing.
Go put new tests every year.
So anyway, it's kind of a catch-22, but at the end of the day, man, definitely looking forward to Thursday, Jack. That'll be the last day I walk in there in 2022.
Bro, once you started talking, dog, you remind me about the funniest thing about my week, bro. I did overtime while I'm on vacation because it's time and a half. You don't get no calls. You go sit somewhere downtown and do nothing. Waste your taxpayers' money. I thank you, taxpayers.
I feel like I saw your brother doing that yesterday, right?
I appreciate y'all. Bro, so I work with this guy, tall, light-skinned, bro. We start talking. This man was the CPD version of McKinday, bro. I bullshit you not.
I don't know what that means.
What does that look like?
Yeah,
Bro,
bro.
what does that look like?
Well,
He was extraordinarily intellectual.
This ain't no shots at you, but he thought he was the smartest motherfucker in the room. But
Ain't no thought about it. I
everybody-
mean, let's take the IQ test now. Maybe Mark gets me.
Every story or every question, every situation he talked about, if you prove him wrong, he'd spin it. He'd spin it. He found another angle to be right. I'm looking like, The McKinney get
That's
a fucking
funny, because
job.
I would say that's what you do. That would be my description of what you
That's
do.
your nuance technique.
Oh,
You know,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
nuance
Nuances,
technique.
yes.
Why you
You know,
doing
I'm
all
like,
of
bro,
this?
Bro, what?
Rocky ass. It's nuance
Animatronic dogs.
technique. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it was fun. I'm looking like, dude, McKinney got a whole fucking. I should took pictures of the motherfucker. He was light skinned. He was tall. I'm glad. I'm like, dude, who
Maybe
the fuck
it's a
are
light
you?
skin thing.
Huh?
Maybe that's,
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely what it is. That's all it takes.
correlation.
Might be.
Yeah, that's all. Correlation, exactly.
When I tell you, this motherfucker talked about his relationship history.
Oh,
He was
no,
a
I don't
fucking.
do that.
You didn't do. I'm like, dude, I don't want to hear this.
History.
Yeah, I don't do that.
We
I mean,
here
y'all
to get a
bored.
check.
Men remember that?
Y'all bored.
He wasn't going to sleep. I was gonna go to sleep.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
Why didn't you just tell him then?
Nah, he was nice, man. He was a nice guy. He was going through a lot.
Oh, okay.
He was going through. You could tell.
Oh, he
when
needed
we
a
started
couch.
talking, I
He
thought he was
needed
in the
a
corner.
couch. Yeah, he needed a couch.
He needed the couch.
Maybe that
We
was
like,
his
damn.
yeah, that was his way to
He had
release.
the wrong guy that night, man. But you know how I set him up though? He was telling a story. He said, he was telling a story about somebody he thinks is good but not great. So he said, kind of like LeBron James. I was like, what you mean, the GOAT? He was like,
Yeah.
well, you think LeBron? I said, ho, relax, wait. Put your gun away.
Right.
Put your gun away,
Turn it
goddamn.
down.
I said, if you
Turn it
think Mike's the
down.
GOAT, that's fine. I don't want to argue with you.
Right.
I think LeBron's the GOAT. That way, it's a tactic. You shut the fuck up, though.
Yeah.
Leave me alone.
I
I
get it.
won.
Yeah, he didn't want that smoke. 'Cause You,
No.
you got pages and pages and pages of LeBron work, right? And you studied him way too much. And I refuse to
studied
argue.
Mike. I studied Kobe.
Yeah,
you have
it's,
to.
yeah, it's
For argument's
good.
sake.
It's good.
How was your week, dog?
My week was pretty good, man. Back in the swing of things.
What does that even
Ready.
mean?
Well, we had issues in the household.
Oh, I thought
Right?
you meant work.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
No, just like everything's.
You ready to fight you already, dog.
No, I just
Like,
didn't
what-
understand what he was talking about.
See, I just
Back
tried to
in the
cop-
swing of what
Yeah,
thing?
back,
You know what I'm saying?
back in the swing of things, man. Things are looking good, man. Just getting ready for 2023, retooling, recalibrating the whole nine. Had a dope conversation with you. Lit a whole nother fire. You know what I mean? So 2023 is going to be really great. The calendar is looking amazing already. Checks, yeah, those are important.
Yeah, no, we got some live events
Live
coming
events
out.
coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So I've just been happy to see that. Abasi is he's done some good work. So kudos to you. Okay, yeah. But no, that's it. Though. That's it. But no, fuck all that. Fuck my week, man. It is what it is. I'm here to keep this podcast as the number one podcast in Chicago and move forward and be great, man. And speaking of that, we were actually nominated. Okay.
Yeah.
For podcast of the
Team.
year.
Clap it up.
You know
Clap
what I'm saying?
it up.
Like, that's crazy. We did not nominate ourselves. I have
Absolutely
no
not.
idea where this shit came from, but
Beautiful, though.
it's a toast to our work. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying?
What's
So
it's the is it the 312 awards?
312 awards.
Yeah,
Right. So
they do them every year. It's like all the different Chicago to do music.
No,
in
this is the
Chicago.
first. This is the first annual. This is
Oh,
the
I mean,
first
well,
annual.
I'm sorry. There's another one then. There's definitely another Chicago one that's like that. But yeah.
So yeah, I mean, shout out to 312 Awards, man. We'll do a call to action. Y'all can go vote. And we'll take that trophy home. It'll be our first Grammy.
A little motivation, you know what I'm saying?
or the first 312 award.
Who house is going to be at between y'all two? Who house?
It's definitely at my house.
Oh, it's definitely his crib. I hear.
Where you gonna put it at? You gonna let motherfucking, what's the little ugly ass little dog name?
I was gonna say, yeah. I don't know.
Little Saint play with the dog.
Hey, oh, I got one. Okay, so in that vein, if you would.
Okay.
So in the conversation we were having, right, he goes to hang up the phone, but he never actually hangs up. And I just thought, for the sake of it, I could have easily hung up on my end. But I was like, you know what? Let me get a bird's eye or bird's ear view of what this life is like, right? And so he off the phone. I'm gonna tell you the series of things that happened. The first thing that happens is I guess his daughter was talking about something. And it had something to do with the dog, because he was like, nah, he don't fuck with y'all. When like, y'all ain't here too much. I guess the dog, she was trying to pet the dog or something. The dog wouldn't move. He low key be in the house holding that dog like in his arm, like no, you can't touch my dog. No, he don't fuck with y'all like
What's
that.
your dog's name?
Y'all act funny with my dog. That's the first thing. Second thing happened is he didn't ask his wife like, hey, baby, so is it time for the pizza? And she like, no, I told you it's not time for the pizza. Are you sure? So you check the time?
Fat ass, boy, you hungry,
So you're eavesdropping. You're eavesdropping.
The phone sitting right in his face. We just got off the phone. I'm just waiting on, and I'm saying, now, by the way, I'm saying, Armand, as interesting as this all is, hang up the phone. He ain't hang up the phone, so fuck it. So then His son treating him. Woo, treating him. Talking about, man, Joe, you gonna put on the game or not? You scared? You scared? He's like, no, I'm putting it on right now. He's like, nah, you ain't. You scared. He's like, you tired of getting your ass whooped, ain't you? No, okay, I see what it is. I see how you feel. I'm gonna put it on right now. I'm trying to get the color right. Hey,
The color?
The man, for them 2.5 minutes.
Your life was better for 2.5 minutes.
No, sir. For the minutes I looked around, listened to them crickets. I was like, whoo, I made good choices.
That's nice though, man.
It's crazy in my household sometimes,
That is
man.
hilarious.
You know, we got a house full, man. My daughter's back home from school and shit. You know, it changes the feng shui in the house for sure, right? You know, but it is what it is, man. I'm happy everybody's there, man. You know,
6.
Yeah, it sounded very. It did. They talking about playing cards and Scrabble. It was very.
it's
home,
just
very,
family time, man. It's family time, right? That's
It's
what you're
very
supposed to do in the
Black
holidays,
Hallmark.
right? Yeah,
You
it's all
begging
good,
for the
man.
pizza is hilarious though, bro.
Yeah, that was, he was like, you sure? He's like, you sure it ain't been 20 minutes?
I do have one question before we get into the actual show run.
What's that question, dog?
You were talking about school and you know everything you had going on. I have to understand because my daughter was asking me to read her paper, right, for a criminal. Check it out, right? Criminal justice class, right? Oh, well, I have a degree in criminal justice, so I'm reading shit, right? And
Is that the part we worried about though?
right, so it was good, right? It was good, right? So I made a few corrections or whatever, right?
Okay.
But then she said, well, I was giving her some pointers, like, maybe you should maybe go this way, go this way. She's like, no, it's a rubric, right? And I'm like, what the fuck is a rubric,
Oh,
right?
I saw that. Yeah.
Can you help me understand what the rubric is? Because I don't think it's smart to tell a kid you can only say this based on the question.
What a
right?
rubric is.
So I'm saying, help me with that.
All right, I'm gonna try my hardest to do this in a way that's gonna be like
It's not for me
at your level.
But no,
You know what
no.
I'm saying?
You already got it, right?
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So
I just think the rubric is stupid.
okay, here's what it is.
per her definition.
No,
I think it's
I'll
stupid.
tell you why. So this is why rubrics. First was
Rubrics.
rubric. Right? This is why it came out. What was happening before is that people were saying that teachers were assigning arbitrary scores. So the four of us turn in a paper. They basically make the same points, but the teacher has a different relationship with
Right.
you, and you.
Okay.
And so he gets an 85. Why does he get an 85?
Chicago Bears.
He gets an 81.
Yeah.
You know, I get a 78. You get a 90, just for the
Yeah,
sake
good-
of
good job, 'cause I thought you
just
were
for
shit
the-
on me.
Just for the sake of gassing. You know what I'm saying?
justice.
Because we all know it wouldn't happen. But like the fact that you excited is pointing up.
Let me get that A.
But so the question to the teacher would be like, well, what did you base that difference of 6
right.
or 7% on? And there really was no answer, right? So rubrics come out because what it does is it says, well, he may have made a point about, if it's about criminal justice, let's just say for, I don't know, what was it about? What was the time?
What was it about? In reference to juveniles and the public. And it's like between 18 and 21. So should an 18-year-old be considered an adult?
Okay, right.
okay.
So now he might have said no for two very valid reasons that the teacher did not personally present nor agree with.
Okay.
But there's still two very valid reasons that go to the question. He might have said yes for two very valid reasons. So the point of a rubric is that it opens up what a student can write about so that a student can write from a more personal space as long as they're hitting basic tenets. So the first part of the rubric will say, did you state your claim straight out? Did you say yes or no? And did you say why?
Okay.
Right? So that's point one on the rubric. Point two is, do you have two, pieces of evidence that support your claim?
Okay.
Right. And then did you close that argument in a succinct way? So what that means is that we can all four write a paper on the same topic that come and go from different.
So they're all
four
different.
exactly.
Okay.
As long as they hit those points. And what we found in education is that makes the work of education more personable. Before, y'all remember, the teacher would be like, all right, tell me, when was Martin Luther King born? When did he die? Like, everybody's writing the same exact paper. There's no personal value in the research. I don't get to assign any personal value to what we're talking about. So rubrics allow for the student to have more control over what they write as long as they're hitting the skills.
I wish real life had a rubric. I swear to God.
Yeah, I feel
really
that.
do.
Yeah, you're
My
right.
God, man.
That's a great point.
Sorry,
Well,
though.
that sums it up, Dan. Boss, let me holler at you about these new NBA awards. And
Like there's new NBA awards?
yeah, brother, the MVP is now.
Oh,
Michael
you mean
Jordan.
the actual trophy?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you meant like they was
they named
adding
them.
something.
Well,
like,
they renamed them.
Third rookie of the
so
year
So the
type
MVP is the GOAT.
yeah, I saw that one.
Yo.
I didn't not like the trophy.
I didn't like the trophy
It
at
was
all.
ugly.
It looks like he doing
it's
ballet or
20.
something.
It's 20.
Did you see it, Kelly?
It's terrible. It's
Bro,
terrible.
it don't.
It's 23 inches.
Terrible.
Horrible.
It's 23.6 inches high. So 23 is for his number, and the 0.6 is for
many
the number of championships he won. Right?
This is pointless.
Now they renamed. You have all 9?
No, I don't.
Well,
There's
how many? you got?
9?
Yeah, they renamed 9 of them.
9 awards.
Which one?
9 awards.
Which one they giving LeBron?
No, yeah. and that's my. That's
He got to
my thing,
get the rookie of the year or something.
That's my point.
They
though.
gave like John Havlicek like defensive player,
six man of the year,
which is
Will
trash.
Chamberlain is Rookie of the Year award.
First of all, did y'all know Chuck Taylor was a real person?
Yes.
A real basketball player? I did not know that.
I did not.
I had no clue.
What's wrong with
you
y'all,
a
man?
hooper. You a
I just
hooper.
found that out.
Why would y'all not know that though?
I mean, one, who cares?
I don't wear Chuck Taylors.
No, I mean, I didn't realize that was the first shoe contract
No, it was.
for an NBA player.
Yeah,
The white guy.
Everybody had Chucks. Everybody
Also,
had
who
Chucks.
can hoop in them?
Those are trash. Bro. Your feet.
I don't
to be
have all
dead.
9, bro.
Yes.
Jerry West got the Clutch Player of the Year, which I think is very stupid as
That's
well.
an award?
That's an award
Very
now.
stupid. Hakeem
Did John
has
Stockton
the
get that?
Defensive Player of the Year award. All right.
That makes sense.
I'm kind of not okay with that.
Is he
All right.
still league leading in block?
Will Chamberlain averaged 30-something
blocks?
points, 30-something points, 15, 20 rebounds.
So a
his
scoring
rookie year,
champ?
so he has a Rookie of the Year award. I'm
Oh,
okay
he's
with that.
rookie of the year.
That makes
Okay.
sense.
Havlicek, 6th Man of the Year award. I think that's
Havlicek steals the ball.
well,
Fuck
that's
outta
fine
here.
too. Yeah, but I think they could have been more modern with it.
Yeah.
Because I think Lou Will and Jamal Crawford, they won it so many times.
It wasn't
so many times,
Yes.
it's unreal.
Yes.
George Mikan. They got to bury this motherfucker, man.
Yeah, but
George
what we
Mikan,
say we
God
got done
Damn,
with
he
him.
got the Mikan drill. Let it slide.
It's the one thing. It's just the right hand. Right there. Don't do it all. Catch it out the net.
He
Throw
got
it back up there.
the most. That's fundamentally sound, but bro, why y'all can't let this?
Yeah, they can't let George Mikan
We can't let him
go.
go. He's even the best Lakers center of all time. You know what I'm saying?
True.
He might be the original center for Minneapolis, but it's all good. The most improved player is the George Mikan bullshit. Of course, Jordan got the MVP, the regular season MVP, and that's my beef though. Fuck all that. The NBA moved too emotionally when Bill Russell died. They gave him the Finals MVP.
Oh, he had the most finals.
Finals MVP, McKinday. Look,
Okay, he was the only
before
person
you
to have
raise
11
your voice
finals.
and start talking nonsense about a sport you were not good at.
Oh, my
all right?
God.
Listen to me, bro.
I want to hear this. I want to hear this, bro. I want to hear this point.
God.
So, who had the most Finals MVPs though?
I'm going to guess you know.
No. We all know. Who got his goddamn shoe on?
Okay. He had 3 of them, right? He had 6. Did Mike get 6?
Stop talking about basketball,
Did he
boy.
get the MVP all 6 times?
Get away from him.
I never.
Get away from him.
Let me tell you something. I never cared about
It's 6.
MVPs. I never cared about.
Fine, it's cool. So instead of giving that to Bill Russell because you felt you owed him something because
I
he
hear your
died,
point.
you should have gave it to Mike.
I give you that.
You know what I'm saying? So now you name the regular season MVP after motherfuckers that don't have the most regular season MVPs. Kareem has it. Once again, NBA has shitted on Kareem again. They gave this man
That's a great point.
They shit on him again. You know, maybe because he was outspoken in his day about the
Politically.
policies and ways.
Yeah, for
Absolutely,
sure,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Give that man some credit. We gave him the Social Justice Award. Give him some basketball related.
That's a great point.
Give him some basketball fucking related. Now,
fully agree
My
with you.
fault. What y'all? But see, this is why I like these new awards get named. I love it. I love it because we're in a barbershop right now. You talk basketball in a barbershop, 2 names gonna come up right now. We're 3 now, 3. You know what I'm saying? Because we're gonna talk about shooting, talk about Steph Curry, have to, mandatory. You're gonna talk about Michael Jordan and LeBron James. Every goddamn barbershop until your ears,
And Kobe.
your
You
ears
can't
or
leave
your mouth
Kobe out
fall
of that
off.
conversation.
Kobe's never gonna be the GOAT, bro, and I love Kobe.
I mean, he's in the
GOAT.
conversation.
He's in
In
the
a
conversation.
barbershop.
He's in the
To be a
conversation.
GOAT?
In
He's
a
in the conversation.
barbershop?
Fuck out of here,
He's
bro.
in the conversation, bro.
I mean,
Okay.
unfortunately, he's not gonna have as many
Okay.
years to meet some of them same. But he was retired when
How
he
about this
passed
though?
anyway.
My point is this though. I love that they're doing this because the conversation is going to have to change. Like our dads talked about Kareem, Dr. J,
Dr.
you know,
J, yeah.
Elvin Hayes,
Elgin-
people like that
Elgin Baylor.
being the great players of the game. So now they putting our old asses out the pasture. They tired of talking about Michael Jordan. We gonna get this man a trophy. He'll kill. Y'all can have this for a little while. About 20 years, it's gonna be only the shoe for Mike.
That's true.
Only the shoe. They
That's true.
changed the narrative
I'm
of the
okay with
conversation.
that.
I'm sick of you motherfuckers, not y'all, but sometimes y'all, talking about Michael Jordan, LeBron James, every goddamn conversation. ESPN, Fox Sports 1, 2, 5, 7, 9, Fox, all this. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, man. Let's move the fuck
I hear
on.
you.
You can't, if you keep honoring the past, bro, you can't acknowledge the great that's going on right now, though.
I agree.
People,
No,
it
that
took
boy's
them so long
heat
to get motherfucking Steph Curry his love, and he been a monster with a soft ankle having ass.
He is
What
at
ankle
the
stay hurt?
church of
You know
the
what I'm saying?
NBA over here,
Motherfucker,
boy.
You look at
Yeah.
yourself. No, you have to, bro. You have to. The game is changed. Like, you never go see the bad white boy. Luka Doncic is killing. That boy is
Yeah,
a killer.
Luka's
Slow motion, he a
cold.
killer. You got so many great players in
Dirk is
the NBA
cold.
right now, man, that if we keep talking about the old Joe, we can't get with the new.
Man, that was some Frederick Negro Douglas
You shut
speech
up.
about the NBA. I mean, that was right, exactly. Hey, I feel like 12 NBA players should just go walking down the street right now. Let my people go.
But I do have some pushback with the Kareem, right?
Okay.
Given the space and time that he was in, right? He was
When he retired.
an activist. Hold on. He was an activist.
Okay.
He was part of the black movement and standing up for all the shit,
What?
right?
That great
Well, he
picture,
is,
that
right?
great picture in Cleveland with Jim
So-
Brown,
so-
Muhammad Ali.
So them giving him that award does make sense
Yeah,
to me. But
But it's not basketball, really.
Tell you something.
but it's not basketball related.
That man won.
It's
that
twofold.
man
It's
won
twofold.
4 years in high school, everything.
For
He
sure.
won 3 years in college, everything.
One of the
and
greatest
then he killed
champions
the
of all
pros.
time.
There's not a better basketball resume on earth you will ever fucking find.
That's true.
Get him in some basketball related.
Who
Give him
was
some
your,
basketball
who was
related.
your favorite hooper when you was young?
Allen Iverson.
Allen
sure.
Iverson.
Because I could relate.
Okay.
Yeah,
How long
I
did
got
that? How long
handles
did that last?
Still to this day.
See, I like that though.
You get
There go.
busy?
Yeah. I got handles. So he and I, that's just something I emulated when I played. Yeah.
How many nights did you work on your crossover?
I'll be at the bed just like sitting, just like, you know what I'm saying? If I wasn't playing Sega, I had the ball in the crib. My mom be yelling at me. But yeah, for sure. Like that was, for me, I just had to relate to somebody. You know what I'm saying? And I couldn't relate to Michael Jordan. I couldn't relate to anybody else. So Allen
Right.
Iverson, that was right there.
Can you dunk?
Nah.
I mean, that was why he couldn't. Well, Iverson could dunk.
Yeah.
You played at East while you was there?
No. I was there with Shannon Brown.
Oh, you was there with Shannon? Okay.
Very competitive
Yeah.
What do you think about the NBA awards?
Very competitive.
place.
I mean, I'm
just
a
be the
line with you.
average
I'm not
guy.
as passionate as you are. with
Average
that, you know what I'm
5'9",
saying?
whatever the fuck.
But I mean, I think it's good that they're changing, modernizing things. Because
Right.
I think that's actually a setup for the younger players coming in is changing that traditional history of the NBA awards. But I think it's like a money play. So if you think about it,
Come on.
there's
Brands.
a staple, there's a foundation with Michael Jordan, there's a staple with all these people. But if you try to go with somebody new, you're gonna have a lot of people like, who the hell? Wait, he good, but what is he signed?
I got
He
you.
got some
That's a great
endorsements. What's going on?
Right.
So I think that's part of it. They still trying to milk the cow. You know what I'm saying? Until something else big's come along.
One point I did not mention, and you heard it here first. I like saying shit, and y'all make fun of me and clown, and come back around, be a little bit right later on, or a lot right later on, or sometimes always fucking right later on. But how about this? y'all forgetting one thing.
I caught that.
So they giving all these great players awards,
Mm-hmm.
and they immortalizing them some kind of way in the NBA. Whether you like this man or not, I'm not saying y'all. Whether y'all like him or not, LeBron is great.
I think he's amazing.
Yes.
How old is that logo? They setting that shit up.
The Jerry
For
West,
that man
they
to
was
do-
trying to set it up
They
for
say
Kobe,
setting that shit
yeah.
up. It's not gonna be Kobe ever.
I think that time passed. I think if it was, that
It'd
was
been
that
there.
would have. Yeah.
LeBron gonna be logo, and people gonna hate that shit.
I wouldn't hate it at all, man. I think LeBron's an incredible. I think, the point that people always make in all of that conversation that I always support is that, to your point about Kareem, basketball wise, stats are stats, is what it is. Different eras are different eras. There's different rules in the games at different times. There's different expectations. Like, Kareem's era,
They changed
the
rules for that
idea
man.
of a black dude being the best player in the league there was a lot of smoke for that. Wasn't nobody
Yep.
really about that life. Honestly, Mike kind of benefited from the fact that, as you just said, advertising became
Yes.
a major
That was the
player
push. That was
for the
push.
NBA.
You need to sell
Mike
shit,
Mike was
get
that
money,
first.
and Nike. Yeah,
He was the global man,
for
yep.
sure. Yep,
Absolutely.
April
absolutely.
1st, 1985. Low key is April Fool's Day, which makes it even more funny to me. Like, straight up, if somebody told you on April 1st, 1985, hey, this shoe that we about to put out for $65
last
is
forever.
going to become a multi-billion-dollar industry, you would have been like, yeah, April Fools.
Jordan,
Right,
Jordan.
right.
yeah, yeah,
You'd have been
yeah.
like April Fools, right? So, but advertising dollars, 100% is what allowed, in my personal opinion, the black athlete in the NBA specifically to become somebody that they celebrate. Because Bill Russell, to your point, won championship after championship after championship and didn't get his due until 2-3 years ago.
And
right?
he coached that player on one of them championship teams too.
It came through a whole lot of social justice unrest in America.
Crazy.
Right? So it really, was, like you said, a pacified kind of an approach. So let's talk about that a little bit, man, because you're in advertising. We haven't gotten to that point. So this gentleman to my left is an advertising extraordinaire. I believe the
very famous name,
the
too.
official title is Group Creative Director.
There you go.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
Group Creative Director, right?
No.
So just, give us a
What
quick
the fuck does that mean?
snapshot of
What
what
does
that
group
is. What does a
creative
group
director
creative
mean?
director do for an advertising?
Yeah, for sure. So for the most part, the most plain way I could speak to this is a group creative director services an advertising agency by controlling either a department or a large team of creatives to execute on a specific campaign. So an example would be if we were to get a client like AT&T, and they're like, hey, we have a new plan that
Hey,
we
right
have to
next
release,
door.
$9.99 a month for whatever it may be. They would have to have out-of-home advertisements, billboards, commercials, social media, influencers probably promoting this somewhere, on social media, et cetera. We would have a creative director who would handle his team of designers and writers, right? So you need copywriters to write the headlines, write the social media captions, work with influencers to write scripts if we're going to record them, right? You would need a designer to design all of that stuff, right? Or a team of designers to do billboards and posters and flyers and even work with commercial storyboards, right? And then you would use your creative director to lead all of that, okay? Now, me at my level as a group creative director, I control many creative directors. I on today manage about 20 people.
Wow,
but in
that's a lot.
my career, as a global art director, I control $750 million of business across 4 regions. And you can see on my social media when I used to have it, but Serena Williams will comment on my stuff.
Hey,
we did a
Serena.
commercial with Serena Williams.
Hey, girl.
Yeah, so a lot of famous people come through the ad space. As you
Yeah,
mentioned, Michael
man.
Jordan, right?
Yeah.
Somebody had to direct Michael Jordan. Somebody had to do the commercials, the storyboarding, the shooting, the post production, the
Like, hey, Mike,
pre-production.
not like this.
So
Like
yes, exactly.
Imagine telling Mike that, though.
Don't put the ball here, Mike.
Sa-
Like
same thing with
this.
Serena. I had to tell her, like, no, Serena, swing harder. Okay, well, I need you to overperform because it's a commercial. It's not a real match.
Just give me a number. I'll call you later, okay?
Right.
That's a whole nother story.
That boy putting up shots.
I got clowns. That's a whole other story. I'm serious, man. But yeah, that's basically a group creative director has a department right now.
awesome.
I control about $20 million of business with about 20 people under my belt: creative directors, writers, post production, video editors, things like that.
Dope, man.
So question then.
You work with Nissan, Wilson,
Yes.
Jimmy Dean,
Yes.
Cavassier.
You name it, I probably touched it, and somebody probably
yeah.
bought something
Okay.
with the
Hey,
logo.
all right now.
Yeah,
All right now.
McDonald's, all that. Yeah,
Yeah, well,
Nike, everything. Yeah.
You're working with the corner combo. Let's just say that.
How do?
Oh yeah. I told him.
Yeah.
We talked about this a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
How do? Okay, let's just say, right? Because I know a little bit about the space. I did work at an advertising agency. Definitely not at your level. I was one of the low peons.
the mailman.
I was the guy
You know what I
taking
mean?
the product out, giving it away for free. That's what I was. But that contract, the company I worked for, we had that contract, and that contract was like a 3-year contract. So at your level, you are hired. I'm assuming they do all the you're not pitching for business. Once the business has been booked, once your company says, okay, we have the Wilson contract, that's when they bring you in. Or are you a part of the pitch process?
I am a
also?
part of the new business.
Really?
Pitches. Yes,
How does
100%.
that work?
We need that action.
So so it works several ways, right? So you have request for proposal, request for information, RFIs, RFQs, things like that.
That comes from
So
the client or that comes from you?
Either
don't
way,
understand what's
it
going
depends,
on.
right? So RFQs, requests for questions could come from us,
Okay,
the
got
agency.
it.
Typically, we would
Acronym.
ask them questions about their business and things like that to get that information. But the client can also ask us questions to answer as well.
And this is before you're on contract?
Yes,
Okay.
100%. And then there's an RFI, request for information, which is, again, both parties can ask for that. But normally the client will ask the agency, hey, we have this thing, we require some information from you in order to do this. Can you put together a pitch of what that
Gotcha.
looks like? And so, for instance, McDonald's right now, we have McDonald's for about 19 years or something like that. But now they have more business in the South that the agency can get, right? So they said, hey, we want to come to you all for this southern initiative that we want to do
McRib.
in all the states. I can't disclose any of that.
I will take
But
that.
they basically, we had to fill out a PowerPoint presentation of just what the agency capabilities are, because this is going to a different organization than McDonald's. Obviously, they're a very large organization, right? So you
Right.
talk to one person, but there's 30 other people that don't know who
Right.
you are, that
Right.
don't deal with you, right? So we're working through that right now, which is the RFI, and we just got to fill that out, submit how much it will cost us to provide the services that they're looking for, and then they will choose us as an agency along many other agencies to execute.
Man.
But yeah, it's a lot of business.
a lot of
How
responsibility.
long is that PowerPoint presentation? It's got to be like 200 slides.
Yeah. Well, Yeah, they get up to about 100. Yeah,
Like I
100
get,
slides,
I get to like slide 15
Yeah.
in my class. I'm like, you know what? If you ain't learned this shit by now,
That's hilarious, man.
Yep. And then we only get like about a week to do it. Yeah. Yeah,
so that's why you need that team, though, right? So like that.
Yes.
You said, so you're not by yourself at the house doing 100 slides.
No.
One team is in charge of the creative.
You got
people
strategy,
doing merchandising,
you got
right?
marketing is like 30, 40 people on a pitch.
And how do you come from being a military brat to doing that?
So I went to college first, right? And then I served in the Marine Corps. And then when I got in the Marine Corps, I just
Appreciate
finished.
that. Appreciate you, brother.
Thank you for that.
Absolutely.
I finished when I got out of the Marine Corps. And then so when I went to college,
What school did you go to?
Illinois Institute of Art, Chicago.
Okay.
AI.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They took
Right
Kanye.
around the corner.
Right over
Didn't
there.
they take Kanye degree back?
They definitely did take his honorary doctorate.
Oh, man. That's maybe the School of the Art Institute.
No, wait. It might have been the Art Institute of Chicago.
maybe. Whatever.
That's
Okay,
what it
cool.
was.
All right.
I went to the Illinois Institute of Art.
Okay,
but
bet.
Right.
So when I got an internship, the boss that I worked for at the Creative Commune, he recognized that I wasn't a traditional designer. I'm not all about that type and layout and all that crazy. I just want to make shit look cool.
Right,
right.
I did mixtape. When I was in college, I would just design like add to, you know.
That's my brother.
Like,
Yeah,
friend of the show.
yeah,
My
he
man.
could tell you I designed his logo back in the day, his
Dope.
mixtape
Did you
stuff.
try
Like,
to
I was
sneak on a mixtape or something? Did you try to
That's
sneak on?
hilarious.
For real now.
When,
Come on now.
when y'all
like
saw
that,
each
bro,
other that day and we were talking, I didn't realize that was where y'all connected
college.
at.
Yeah, like
okay.
young people. So when I did my internship, he said, "Okay, I recognize you're not a real designer, like traditionally,
Right.
But you do cool shit. Like you're really good." And then he said, and my mentor's probably gonna hate me for this, but he said, "Do you know what Common Ground is?" And I said, "Oh yeah, the place that I did the he was like the Sprite commercials with LeBron." I was like, "Yeah, the Sprite man, like, yeah, that's crazy. You gonna get me over there?" Meanwhile, I didn't know shit about the agency,
Right.
But I was a college student, so I need a job, bro.
Facts,
So I'm
bro,
just
facts.
faking it. I was like, "Yeah, that one spot, right?" So
That one spot.
he sent me over there to them, and then the vice president Michael. He was like, "Yo, he's super legit. Let's get him in here." But the recruiter was like, "Nah." You know what I'm saying? It's just a Caucasian lady. But
And they got a pipeline. It's like,
yeah,
we
yeah,
already
yeah.
got the people that we're ready.
But the VP was black though. He was like, "Yo, no, let's get him in here, man. Let's test him out, see what he's like." And so I got into that advertising agency, which again, Common Ground, Sherman Wright, as the founder of that. But they gave me an opportunity, and they brought me in as a junior designer freelance. There wasn't a junior designer position in the company at all.
Okay.
So after about 3 months, they brought me into HR, and they were like, "Hey, we want to make a position for you in the
That's
agency
dope.
in order to keep you." And I worked on 11 accounts at that agency.
Freelance.
Yeah, freelance.
That's
and
per,
then,
that
and then
means
they,
per thing you deliver, you get paid
Yeah.
for.
Yes.
Right.
And so then they kept me after
Clark
that.
Kent.
They gave me a salary. You know, it was like a little $30,000 salary. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
back
saying?
then, but that was
college,
something.
You needed a job.
Yes.
Back
Yeah.
then,
I was
that
like,
was
bro,
something,
no
Joe.
ramen
Yeah.
noodles, no canned
Exactly.
goods. I got to give me a
Or
sandwich.
at least I know how much
You know
money
what
I'm
I'm
gonna have next
saying?
week.
Like,
Right?
yeah,
Like, I ain't gotta go out here and hustle.
saying?
Yeah, so that's how I ended up in there. Is that, you know, he put me, you know, some white guy put me in advertising with Sherman Wright and gave me an opportunity that I wouldn't have had without them, and then it just skyrocketed from there.
That's amazing though, man, because it sounds like you didn't set out when you went to school. You didn't study this and set out to be a group creative leader, designer, military great motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? But it's something that you fell into. If you had to tell somebody coming up after you, you know, that wants to do something but they're not getting opportunities, how would you tell them? Look here, you made this be good. First of all, we are society's drip, bro. That's why the story about you not being traditional fucking layout artist is dope, man, because we are, if you look around us, remember at one point, you watch baseball commercials or you see a McDonald's commercial, you wouldn't hear a rap song in that motherfucker.
Nah.
Now it's hip-hop everywhere.
Video games,
Everywhere.
video
Like that,
game
you know what I'm saying?
commercials, everywhere.
Yeah, man, so I can see that. I played the hell out of that game too, though. But I forgot my goddamn question, bro.
If I were to tell somebody else,
Yeah, it was a little bit layered. Yeah, you know, because you didn't set out to do this. You know what I'm saying? So when did you realize, hey, man, I just got to take this and make this work? You know what I'm saying? And those and people that may look up to you, that may be under your umbrella because you manage a lot of people, though, do you see another you in that fray?
Yeah.
Another trendsetter in that fray?
So it's crazy.
was a long
because
ass question to ask that.
No, it's
That's a
good.
lot of
I'm
fucking words
tracking. I'm
right
tracking
there.
all of it. I'm tracking all of it. My brain's a little big, but I'm tracking it.
He hard to follow.
I know, man. You're right.
But no, to get to those points, I think that the biggest thing is a mentor is super important.
Okay.
Right? If you enter into anything, I don't care what it is, find you somebody who's already done it
Right.
and has done it well. And even if they haven't done it well, at least they know the mistakes to prevent you from making it, right?
Right.
So find you a mentor right away, or as many mentors, right? Because you need mentors for different things. So there may be mentors that are good at leadership. There may be mentors that are good at doing things, right? And there may be mentors that are just in financial, different industries, right? So you get you a mentor. That's the biggest thing I could tell anybody.
Right.
But it's, as far as like opportunities, the Leo Burnett, what they did is they had something called, what was it?
They one of the biggest
Canva?
agencies, right? Leo Burnett, they one of the biggest
Yeah,
agencies here in
they
Chicago,
are.
right?
Yeah, the big dinosaur. They're getting old. You know,
Well, he ain't
but-
over there no more.
Yeah,
You know
nah,
what
nah,
I'm
nah. I mean, that's old ass stuff. That's like-
Yeah, they are. They're like the first. They were. It was, if I'm correct, it was a black-owned shop at one point,
Burrell,
and they had Burrell, right? And then they had.
That's a very black name.
Their big one was when they got McDonald's,
Right.
Yes.
When they got McDonald's, that was when they skyrocketed.
Yes,
Yeah.
100%. And like, but they had a program that would bring in different kinds of creatives and
Okay.
multicultural, right? So they bring in mural artists, right? Graffiti people to do design. Because they wanted
yeah.
non-traditional people in there to just bring a new way of doing
new
things.
vibe, yeah.
So that's why I was so
Trip.
popular at ad agencies. Like I freelanced for about 8 years, and after Common Ground,
Yeah.
and my salary just my pay, I made it all the way up to about $3,000 a week. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like just straight
Not
up.
bad at all.
Price just went up. Fuck you mean?
Yeah, yeah. Because I didn't think like everybody else. When my ideas came to the client, they were like, "Whoa, we've never seen anything like this." And I was like, "I was just doing some shit." Like,
Right. I just
Right.
thought this was interesting.
Yeah, I didn't have
Right.
ad school. I didn't
talented
go to
you
You gotta
talented
have
Folio
that barrier, that
I'm
filter.
glad you said that because I have a question, right? And
Yep.
it kind of pertains to Bronny James signed with Clutch Sports, right? And the NIL deals, right? How would you do an ad, or what does that look like when you do an NIL deal for a Bronny
College athlete.
or college athlete? What does that look like? Do you go completely left, or do you have to streamline it because they're in college and they are?
Well, it probably depends on who the brand is, though, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
so that's what I was going to get into with
Yeah,
some of the
with
specifics
Bronny,
of that.
yeah,
It
name.
depends on the demographic, right?
Right.
You got to look at the insights for the demographic, get your research together, your strategy. The client will also tell you what some of their intent is,
Right.
for their goals. Like we want to sell more shoes, or we just want brand recognition, or we just want to create a conversation, right? So it depends on what the intent is for the client.
Okay.
Once we define all those metrics, then we get into like what I call the cool stuff. Which is like the ideation and the concept development. So then we take all that information in as a creative team, and then we'll let the art directors and the creative directors sit with that and say, "Oh, no, it'd be dope to have him walk through his hood and like talk about this." And then all of a sudden he's in a penthouse and talking about the transition, and then we have like a stopgap of a timeline and we have animations.
That has to be super fun, but I just gotta know. There gotta be a time where somebody's going off and they're like, "Man, and then what if?" And then you sitting there, and you like,
Yeah, everybody be in the room like,
You want all that?
like
Boy, that-
yeah.
"That's trash."
we let them get through it. We do our
real
best not
shit.
to embarrass people, but be like, okay, right, we're going to table that.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say, what's the
You
latest?
said I'm on the table that.
Yeah, I feel you, fam. I feel you, fam.
We're excited about it, but we're going to put that back here. And,
We're
The sauce
excited
let
about
down.
it.
what you got? Like,
We're excited about it, but we want to hear more ideas.
Yeah.
We just want to hear more ideas.
It's just like comedy. Just like the shows you watch, it's exactly like that.
Yeah,
Black
that's
Ish,
dope. That's dope.
exactly like that.
I
Yep.
love Black. That was a great show.
Yep.
Well, let's get into while we're still on sports. Skip and Shannon, all right, got into it on air, and I
This
saw
was
the clip.
old footage, right?
No, this was a couple days ago actually.
Oh.
And basically, Skip came dead at Shannon about. He said, "Man, basically, you're not as good as Tom Brady. You had to retire at 35, and you're mad he's playing at 45." It was a real attack on live
He's
television,
a
right?
tight end.
Nevertheless, right?
What?
And you know, Skip.
He get hit every play.
Skip is known for getting on bullshit. He's attacked Jalen Rose.
He's the other version of Stephen A. Smith, man.
Exactly, but he's actually white, right? So
Right.
it was terrible.
He just
and
play a white man.
I was actually
He's play a black
I was
man.
actually
White dude playing a
surprised.
dude. Like what?
But to Shannon Sharp's credit, he kept it very professional. He said, "Man, you would rather attack me to protect Brady in this debate, right?" And it says a lot about who Skip is as a person, you know.
I don't know.
No, it does because he did the same thing with what's my man?
With
What's my
athletes
man?
that he loves, he goes above and beyond protecting them, their legacy, like he gets paid for it, or he gets like, personally from them people. And
Tom Brady must be one of them.
Tom Brady, Michael Jordan, a few, even fucking what's Tebow?
Tebow.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Now, I do
Tebow was
remember
garbage.
I do remember the Tim Tebow, Skip Bayless thing. I remember after he was gone out the league, I remember him still like championing Tim Tebow.
It's just goofy,
Yeah, I mean,
man.
it's just a terrible look, and it's very unprofessional. And they didn't run a whole campaign for the fuck shit that he did, right, on camera. And
Are
low
you talking
key,
about
Skip.
in comparison to Kyrie, how they did
right.
Kyrie?
And low key, to talk to Shannon like that, Shannon could have reached across that motherfucking table and just ripped your whole motherfucking throat
yeah.
out. You know what I'm saying?
look, man.
They probably had to talk afterwards.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
Look, dude.
I bet you not, man.
You know what
Listen,
I'm saying?
I think that much like you're saying in these advertising space where there's a meeting with the client and it's like, look, this is our goal. This is what we're after, right? And he's, as he said, sometimes it's just start a conversation. Sometimes it's brand recognition, whatever. I think that unfortunately, and it's probably always been like this, but things are even so much more sensationalized now that I think that those boardroom meetings, those program meetings about what we're going to talk about, the meetings that we don't have because we just freestyle,
Yeah.
right? I think that those meetings, I think there is that.
Yeah.
All right, so it'd be great. Like I think somebody
If you have
goes.
some contention
I think
in
Skip
That
says,
was not that, though.
I think
No,
Skip.
it wasn't.
That wasn't-
I didn't
so
see
wasn't
it.
that.
I didn't
It wasn't
physically
that.
see it.
Do you think it was? But they just got too.
But
carried
here's the thing
away
about
with it.
Shannon,
Like,
though.
look,
They got
you
carried away.
overstepping now,
But here's
bro.
the thing
Like,
about Shannon, though. Shannon gets like that about just
LeBron.
about every
LeBron.
other
You get like that with
topic.
LeBron.
No, it ain't even got to be nobody attacking him.
He love LeBron.
He goes that hard about the chicken sandwich that he had the day before. Like Shannon is a very high. He's a lot like you in some ways. He's very high energy.
he in shape?
He's very like confident in
He's in
himself,
shape.
and he's willing to go at it.
Attractive.
You know, with anybody. Like, he's willing to, you know what I'm saying, stand on his shit, right? So I think Skip is kind of designed as somebody to be like, poke the bear. And let's see if we can get Shannon
Oh,
out of his body.
personality
Out of his
trait.
character.
Yeah, like I don't,
Yeah,
I
okay.
have a hard time believing anything on ESPN being authentic anymore.
So let me ask y'all this.
Views are
As
important.
a,
Was
as a,
wait, was LeVar Ball authentic?
I don't know what you mean by that.
I think LeVar's authentic.
Like in what regard?
I've met him. He's authentic.
In
He's
all the
authentic.
interviews, bro, everybody was coming at him.
Oh, I think
attacking
he's
him, see what I'm saying?
authentic.
Was that set up? Was that?
But he's not an
did they-
employee of
did they-
ESPN.
Did they pick him on the show because they knew
That's
they could do? They could do. That's not what I'm
Oh
saying. though.
yeah. I definitely.
I
no.
think they couldn't ignore him.
And that,
So they
and
had to have him on
But-
all these
but-
shows.
But
They couldn't
once he
ignore
was
him.
on, they were like, "This is how we going to interview him." I
wasn't
don't think
telling-
that they let him tell the
So
story.
he wasn't in the boardroom meeting. There, what you're saying?
No, hell no. Not at the,
It
not when
kinda
he was
kills
being
your point
called
there, bro.
on to the show.
Well, he said he wasn't an employee though.
Yeah, he's
Right,
not an
that's
employee of
fine.
ESPN. I'm saying he's not an anchor on the show. He's not in the pre-program meeting
Okay.
about
They
They
what
could
the
have
show is
said,
going
what
to
we're
be
gonna do is
about.
we're gonna set him up, right? And
Right.
we're gonna give him the
Now,
platform
yes,
to.
I agree with you. You couldn't ignore him. He's important news. You have to talk to the important people. But I think the way that they frame that shit is very creative.
Yeah,
I think it's very creative
If it is set
minded.
up that way, it's smart. It's the
Yeah.
views, the strategy, the relevant,
Right.
the topic
get it.
of conversation,
I
the
get it.
barbershop talk.
I get
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
I just
Stay
think
top
that
of
no matter
mind.
how
We on the whole #1 podcast in Chicago,
know
right?
what
now.
kind of whatever meetings we do semi have. Like we started having a meeting at the bar the other day, and Honda walked in and fucked that meeting completely up. He did.
We wasn't
it was
having
silent.
a
We were just talking. We were talking for real about changing men to the show.
I did my brother K. It was already
I'm saying
over
this though right here. This is what I'm saying. There should be some kind of line drawn, regardless of boardroom, backroom meetings, pre-show meetings, that you should know, hey, when we get to this point, fam, we got to cut it off.
Yeah.
Somehow, some way. I think that episode between them two on that particular show, that was legit. I think Skip crossed the line. I think Shannon handled it however he handled that shit. I'm kind of glad they didn't go back to it the next day. But no matter how we argue, I'm not fighting you motherfuckers. I'm not going below the belt like he did. To me, that's whole shit. I'm put it. That's whole shit, bro. And I don't
I
care.
didn't see it,
I don't care
yeah.
what your. This is Skip Bayless right here though. He's been anointed by certain rap artists as Drip Bayless. I call him Skip Brainless. That's what I call him. That's my name for him. Skip Brainless, bro. You know what I'm saying? But he thinks that because of his on Twitter and Instagram, he follows nobody. He only has followers. Bro, you know how arrogant you got to be. You think you that fucking cold? Are you fucking kidding me? Yeah. You ain't that good, fam.
There was a point.
That's the man who believes his word is the
but
Bible,
you,
bro.
you might be able to speak to this because there was a point, especially when Instagram first
goddamn
started.
line.
After Instagram first started, the second iteration of Instagram when they rebranded their logo, that was the thing to do. Actually, to be looked at as like you were dope was to not follow anybody, but to only have followers. That was like a whole part
Narcissism.
of your branding, marketing strategy at
So
some point.
Egotistical.
So that's part of it. That's
Right.
part of it. But there's a strategy.
Okay.
Okay. So
I like to fight. I'm sorry.
No, it's cool. It's conversational. It's all right. We need to do that as men.
I'm too old for this shit
traditional,
though.
But no, there's a strategy where individuals, customers, or other people that you want to follow, they'll come to you And what they look for is exclusivity, right? In the individual.
Oh, you good at this shit. You really good at this shit, huh? God damn.
If you seem accessible to everyone, then
You're not that exclusive.
they view you as less, right? So if you're following, that's why we always tell, when I used to do startup work and work with DJs and independent individuals that, influencers, et cetera, I would tell them, stop following everybody, or go back and unfollow a lot of people that you don't really know.
That's
Only
petty.
follow the blue checks.
Yeah, or that, right? Because it builds the
Or the IG
recognition and
models.
validity
Follow
within
the
your
baddies.
profile.
And if one of them likes
Thirst
or
trap.
comments,
It pushes the
Yeah,
algorithm.
yeah.
So that's
Extrapolate, that's
that's
seven.
Seven, yeah,
that's
for
why
sure.
you want a ratio, right? You worry about the ratio. So if your following ratio is too close to your followers ratio,
Right.
you don't.
You ain't nobody.
Yeah, no one cares about.
Ah!
Yeah.
no, it just means
Nobody
you're more
cares.
average. It just means that you're
Yeah.
more in the regular
So
space.
it's less about narcissism than it is about how
love
other
it.
people view you,
Right.
right? So
And
it's
your
like
brand.
I have to do this so people think I'm important.
Right.
Otherwise, they won't give me money or they won't watch my YouTube. Or
But
they
I
won't
will
pay for
say-
my program
but I
that
will
shows them how to
say,
save money, right?
I think
So-
that's changed though, because I think the Lizzos and the SZAs and the Hers, I think that they're so much more active with their regular everyday followers that is now read as authentic now.
engagement is key.
You nabbed three
have
women,
to have
though.
engagement, regardless of your following count. You have to have engagement. Like you can't not have you can't not be following a lot of people and have bad engagement. Because then people will be like, well, they're not talking about us. Like,
Right.
they don't care. But I'm not gonna follow.
Right.
That person. Yeah,
Makes
yeah.
sense,
So
though.
you got to have both. It's a lot of work, man. That influencer shit.
No, it is.
That's a lot of
Full-time
I don't know
job.
if people know this. I don't know if y'all know
Full-time
this,
job.
but that shit is work. YouTube
Full-time
influencer
job.
tool editing. The stuff y'all do, that's
The first time I realized I had 3 different Instagram accounts. And every time I tried to do something, I had to make sure all 3, like one was
sync.
for, the corner convo, one might be for a different vibe, one might be for my business, one might be for my. I was like, bro, this is 4.5 hours.
Yes.
Like I can't just posting one
crazy,
picture. Because you got to recraft the message for each different group. You got to, and then one
Oh,
you
I know,
got
trust
to
me.
adjust
I
the
know.
metrics. That is work.
So put that behind $1 billion organization,
Right.
right? With
We'll just hire
consumers
you.
on a global scale. Yeah, you
We'll
did
just
an
hire you, bro. Fuck all that.
advertising agency and pay
Hire
us
you,
tens of
man.
millions of dollars.
Yeah. Did you pay hundreds and tens of millions of dollars? I like how you laid that at the back end. He's like, we're going to hire you? Yeah, $10 million.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
I got one question though. As black men, I know we don't like to use the N word, but it is okay typically when you say my nigga, right? Coming from a black person, right?
You typically get a pass.
Typically
a
you get
private
pass. In a
space.
private space, right?
Some people do it in public, which is fucked
Now,
up.
Some people definitely do
It's
it.
fucked up. They do.
I only asked that because RG3 on television.
He said that?
Oh,
said-
that's what he got canceled
I didn't know that,
for?
bro.
He said jigaboos. He's like these
Oh,
jigaboos.
no, I heard him say that before.
on air,
Bruh.
right now.
That's different.
Can't do that, man.
That's different.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Can't
What
do
was the
that.
context?
That's worse than the N-word,
He was
bro.
saying- he was saying-
That's some Southern history.
It was
You-
more. It
you
was more.
stabbing
It was
people
more
with
of
those.
these jigaboos turn the ball over, right?
What?
Wow.
Yeah.
He said it in like a football context.
Damn.
He was analyzing the game, right?
Wait, hold on. This is important. What team you
And
talking
he
about?
was just wearing that Martha Stewart hat.
That does add to it, though.
Hey,
It's not as bad if you're talking about
I want Richard off. I want him out. I want him out.
Me personally,
Robert.
right? The way I see it is like, okay, if a white guy said that, it's racial.
No, that was horrible.
That's horrible,
no
man.
black man.
But-
It's worse if a
but-
black man
Martin
says that.
said
Wait, let me-
it has
let me-
southern,
let
it
me-
has southern flavor to
Yeah,
it.
It does.
That's-
Jigga
It
Boys
does.
is-
That's
It
fucked
does.
up.
It does.
Yeah.
It does have a
Historical.
negative connotation,
Yeah.
right? But there's also another meaning.
No,
that-
it's just negative. It's not a negative
Look,
connotation. It's just negative.
Jigaboos was also referred to as ATVs and tractors. Like I'm gonna go take the jigaboo down here.
He wasn't talking about. They weren't playing football
I
though.
understand
From the
that.
South.
But
Yeah.
the reason I'm
Very
asking
few people know
is
that.
because it came from a black man. Are we considering that racist?
Not
because
to say
because
It's
not racist,
if,
it's still-
if you're looking at School Days, the whole segment was
That was a movie, though.
She's a jigaboo.
And that's Spike Lee, who is
Da, da,
making
da,
a
da, da,
very
da, da.
Real life,
specific
real time, bro.
point.
You're
Right.
just a
Yeah, nah.
wannabe.
Why do you
it's
still
not
doing
all
this shit,
good.
though, bro?
It's not
That
all
was
good,
my- that was
man.
my
What the
favorite
fuck
shit.
is wrong with you?
Flat out. Spike Lee is known for social commentary and known specifically for
Why you get him started, dog?
Spike Lee
This
was
is bad.
making a point.
Get him started,
Spike
man.
Lee was
He's
making a point.
for sure.
He
I like gamma rays. Just so you know, I like gamma rays. You know
he
what I'm
was
saying?
using a term that had no
Business.
qualification.
In the
And
NFL,
what
in
he
the
is
sports
doing.
arena.
Cool.
No
So we're in
qualification.
agreement that he should have got fired.
The
Yeah.
fact that he's sitting there with a Martha Stewart hat on right now pisses me off way
All right, cool.
more.
I'm not. I don't need a deep dive. I just want to, let it be known that he
I did
said
not know that's what he said. I heard there was chatter about him, but I did not know that's what he said.
And also, I want to talk about the
Jay-Z
fact that
name,
ESPN, Fox 257 and 9 did not run a campaign about Kyrie paying this young lady's tuition.
Yeah,
Howard.
And Howard.
Yeah, nobody
Yeah,
did
that was
it.
dope. I
You know
saw
what
an
I'm
article on
saying?
that,
Like,
though.
come on,
He's
man.
known for that,
Come
though,
on.
man.
That's what
He
he
been
do.
doing that.
Yeah.
He
So
been
how
doing that.
can y'all say a motherfucker like that hates somebody?
Because it ain't about.
He don't.
It's just optics.
Yeah, man.
It's just optics.
It's
man.
crazy.
But it's also like who's impacted, not the people that felt some kind of way.
Yep.
They're
So-
not impacted.
You being the AI fan though, what do you rate Kyrie's handles?
That's a good question.
We have conversation, brother. You know what I'm saying? We talking.
Wait, before you answer, what do you rate him?
He might have the best handles all time.
You say all time?
Yeah. That boy got the ball on a yo-yo. It's a string, man. Because you take.
I got
I
to
don't keep thinking you got better handles than AI.
His mentor was Ron Strickland. His guy-
crossover ain't as hard.
Okay,
Yeah.
I
ain't trying to get you off your point. AI is your
guess-
player. AI had handles.
AI had the hardest
The best.
crossover.
Ooh.
That's true. That's true.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm debating. is like,
But overall handles, AI wasn't doing what Kyrie doing. Like,
Yeah, it's
So
Kyrie.
on your
I
point
get it.
guard, hierarchy with handles. Okay, you got it's on the spot. Give me 5 of them.
nah,
You can chime in.
yeah, come on, Kelly. I know you got
chime in. Give me 5 of them. It's a collective thing. We need five of them boys to get that ball on the string.
Isaiah.
For sure.
West
okay,
side.
that's got to be top of my list. Yeah. That's got to be
Top?
top of my list. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
The machine
Isaiah-
gun.
Rod
yeah,
Strickland,
yeah,
good
yeah.
call.
Isaiah.
Rod Strick.
If y'all
I
can
forgot
hear him,
about
Isaiah,
Strick.
Rod Strickland.
For
Yeah,
sure.
Kyrie got to be in the conversation. Steph easy. Smooth.
His is based on rhythm to me too, though.
Exactly. He
It is
moves
based
you
on
and then
rhythm.
he already in
He's
his
based on
next
rhythm.
motion.
Right. We need one more. Right.
Wow, Kelly. Wow. I played basketball too, Kelly.
It is though. For real. Yeah, it's crazy.
I know I'm talking shit. I guarded D Brown, by the way.
I guarded Sean Marion.
He can't dribble.
Luka.
Really? Oh, is it because
Slow
his
motion.
size?
Slow motion. He's
He
slow
is
motion.
a point guard though. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's PG.
He is a PG.
It's not even just because of his handling. It's just because he can handle the ball and he can pass it.
Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
good protector. Is what? Yeah. He's very efficient with his actions.
No
was gonna
Tim. No Tim Hardaway there.
Magic was a better passer than a dribbler, though.
Yes, but as far as
Yeah, Tim was a monster.
look at players as far as point guards,
We talking about handles too though. We talking about handles.
Yeah, we just talking
Yeah.
about dribbling.
Handles.
We just talking about dribbling.
It's handles.
looking at handles with assists.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
You can't get a basketball player talking about basketball. The competition is going to go. It's
let-
going to
yeah,
grow
let-
legs.
yeah,
It's going to grow
yeah.
legs.
But-
We actually never left basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the handle side,
So you agree so far, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I could go with that list.
I need somebody.
I'm just
Yeah, I see what you
all the
mean.
way back to
He didn't say AI though.
Tim Hardaway and all that.
Yeah.
nah. AI be like 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who?
I'd put him on 4.
So yeah, we'll round
Yeah,
out
4.
round out your 5 then. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
I got Kenny Anderson on my list though.
Okay, Kenny Anderson.
I got Kenny
Chris
Anderson
Paul
on
has
my
handles as well.
I
I'm
was going
sorry.
to say Chris Paul.
He has handles too. He has handles as well. You know.
But on the string,
You okay over there, boy?
Nope.
on the string, definitely Zeke.
We didn't ask you though, bro.
Oh, okay, well I'm just throwing.
Jesus.
I'm a PG. You know what I'm saying? So I know.
That's true. And you know, no bullshit. Amon can handle the ball.
He did.
He can handle the ball. I
will
give
agree
credit.
with you. I
We
will
give him a lot of smoke.
definitely agree
He can
with
handle the ball.
I definitely gave the first time I hooped against him, I was like, okay, all right. He can dribble. He can dribble. I ain't want to give him no credit then either. I was like, man, I'm a murder you. Okay, you a little fast with this ball though. Pause.
Yeah, he was a hog too, though.
Oh, so let's also give a rest in peace to Paul Silas, man.
Absolutely, man.
yeah,
It was cool to see Monty Williams, who experienced a tragic loss as well, and the NBA rallied around him. See him rally around Paul Silas' son and give him a black man to black man brother hug. Give him words of encouragement
that's
in front of
what that
everybody. That was
conversation
beautiful,
was
dog. But we need that. We need that more in our community, and we're doing more of that as men. You know what I'm saying? We will hug our kids, we'll hug our ladies. You know what I'm saying? But as men, we go, hey man, get away from me, man. You too close. You get the motherfucking boom, boom. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
now
yeah.
it's okay to hug it out. It's okay.
Yep. I agree.
Who you got on your handle game?
Oh man,
Just
I ain't
before
gonna
we
lie.
leave that.
I ain't gonna lie. Y'all disrespected the light skin committee, man. I'm gonna just say, Jason Kidd was a ball.
wow.
No.
Yeah, well,
Nope.
Now wait.
He was fast.
Now
at
here's
the
what I'm
back.
gonna say. To the
light skin
conversation.
committee.
To the conversation. I think he was a better passer than dribbler. I think he was a better
defender.
passer than dribbler.
Yep.
But yeah, I think handles, man. I'm putting Kyrie number. I think Kyrie's number
I think
one
at
for
the
me.
best.
I think Steph is number 2 for me. I think Zeke. Only reason I feel like you got to say Zeke.
He was the
because
first person
of
throwing the
his
ball to
era.
2 people, though.
Yeah.
Boom.
I think because of his era, he was one of the first. Him and Tim. I would put him and Tim almost like neck and neck because that era, nobody was focused on dribbling the ball like them.
Exactly.
Like, it was more about.
It's not his fault.
It was more about passes, and that's why I say Magic was never a dribbler to me. He was a passer. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I feel like.
Magic was the first person I think control the offensive side of the ball like no other.
Yeah.
He control the whole floor of the game.
If we talking assists, that's a whole separate conversation. But
all
who's
good.
my 5th? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Kenny Anderson, I never saw as a ball handler like that.
Shit.
Jamal
What's wrong
Crawford,
with you?
though?
Wait a minute.
wait, hold on.
I'm tripping. Wait. I need y'all to
I
give me
never
this.
saw him like that.
From Crane High School.
No, sir.
To Georgia Tech, Will Bynum. Will Bynum had.
He was nice.
Will Bynum had that motherfucker
Hey,
on the
low
string.
key, if we gonna talk about Chicago legends, David Bailey was a
David Bailey had that
beast.
motherfucker on the string.
We said top 5. What the fuck are y'all
Okay,
getting
he
top
wasn't
from?
in the NBA.
Yeah, top 5.
He wasn't in the
doing,
NBA.
bro?
I'm just saying.
Focus.
Bynum was in the league.
Top 5 handles in the
Bynum went
league.
to the league. No, not in the league.
Okay,
Not
man.
in the
Let's
league.
Oh,
bring
fuck
it
that.
home.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Bring it back home.
Steve Francis.
Francis was nice.
Steve Francis.
But he was a
Alright.
jumper
Top
more
10
than
maybe.
he was.
Top 10 maybe.
Yeah. No,
Okay,
it's a tough
Scooter.
guy. Ball handling is because nowadays, you know what? You gotta attribute that shit to, though, real talk. That and 1 era.
Yes.
That
Yes.
changed everything. That
Boy,
changed everything.
Them mixtapes, boy.
Nobody-
No, but see, that's why his list started off to me. It's gonna be dominant.
Hot
because
sauce you talking about?
Hot sauce, yeah.
He named somebody else before and 1. Isaiah had that. He doing that
did.
shit on his
He did.
on his
He
knee
did,
during the ball,
yeah,
sliding
yeah.
and shit, bro. Before and 1.
That's true.
Isaiah had that.
No, that's
West
true.
side.
That's true.
Passion, boy.
But no, and 1 changed dribbling in basketball forever.
Right.
All right, let's get into a little
Fuck
bit of
the game up,
Chicago,
too.
man. I want to give a shout out to Jamal Green, young boy running for president.
for mayor?
I mean mayor. I'm sorry.
He said president.
Yeah, I saw the
Well,
billboard.
I mean,
I saw the billboard.
That's
Yeah,
them
I saw
the
billboard.
politics. He's running for president.
I mean,
president of Chicago.
Yeah, low key. When you're the mayor of Chicago, you're really low key the president.
No,
bro.
it's the 5th hardest job. It goes president, secretary of state, New York mayor, and I think LA and then Chicago.
really.
Yep. There's actually a ranking system.
Okay, well, Chicago's a tough city.
Yep.
Chicago's a tough
That's
city.
why it's
You know what I'm
5. Yeah.
All right, well, I'll take the top 5, but shout out to him, man. Young boy, man. I heard him say that he's trying to, if he gets in office, he wants to get rid of tickets.
Good luck with
And-
that.
and
You gonna
what?
get rid of police?
What-
No, the light tickets,
They already got rid of
red
them.
light tickets. No.
No, they still up.
They came back?
Yeah, they up.
Hold on, Bossy. I need you to check in on this.
What? Red light camera?
You don't
The red
drive,
light
bro.
camera tickets are still there?
Yes, they are.
Wow.
They took like a
I don't know if you
2-3
get one
month
of- I
hiatus.
don't know if he
for
get one of
some
his-
reason.
Can he get one on his scooter?
I definitely can't get one on my electric
you can't get one on your scooter.
Yeah, I run through them red lights on the electric
what-
scooter all the time.
Like, the paparazzi.
Yeah,
Well,
look,
famous
the
and shit.
most popular is gonna happen is I'm gonna get hit by a van or something like that.
Wow.
Ain't get no
Final
ticket, ain't no
destination.
license plate.
Motherfucker, shit.
Oh, my
The problem was this, though.
goddamn scooter.
People actually have eyeballs and can see these cameras, and they neuralize you like Men in Black. Boom, you can see this shit. The problem was you had these cameras on the corner of Home and Chicago Avenue. You had Kedzie and Washington.
And they was just running.
And all in the urban
Just every
community.
time.
That's,
Clap, clap,
that's
clap.
not the point. That's great too, but the point was all the people that you consider broke on a social, on an economical scale, to make the less in Chicago, the cameras was punishing these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And if you didn't pay that ticket or
Late
2
fees,
tickets,
all
bro,
that. Yeah.
they booting your car.
Bootless, it doubles,
And,
yeah.
so
Yeah.
what they did was they put a heart on it for a while and say they're gonna forget about it in a minute. Then slowly but surely start uncovering these
Yeah,
cameras,
just like-
put them back up. That's everything he just said.
That's deep because I definitely didn't know they came back.
Yeah, they there.
So he want to take the lights away then.
Yeah.
You know, and then alternate revenue sources.
I'm not okay with that though. I'm not okay with that. I need him to maybe get a little more strict on what you can get tickets for. Don't run these motherfucking lights. Accidents
Yeah, that shit
are the number
terrible.
2, I think, killer in America.
Especially now that these
Cause of
shorties
death.
just stealing any of the car.
You see what I'm saying?
To rip and run. I
And
done seen
it's
4-5
important,
cars
too.
racing down the block. We
It's
was talking about this the other day.
A camera is a camera. It's important. You know, I'm a police officer, even though I don't do no work no more. I'm old. I'm
Dude,
old
look, he
dog.
got a CPD
You know what I'm
hat
saying?
on. I know it's a Chicago Fire.
Chicago Fire.
I know.
Absolutely.
It took me a second, dog. It was super close.
The cameras help us to identify these stolen cars where they're at in real time because it's still a camera. All these things,
Yeah.
if you got a camera, they have to ask you. They don't know about it. I shouldn't say that, but you know what I'm saying? Businesses, they have to ask these people, hey,
Can we
if
see
you're
your
licensed,
footage? Yeah.
we need your camera to help us crimes and shit, bro.
Let me tell you
They
something.
important.
No, I'm gonna tell you
And they
dead
everywhere.
ass. Last night at 1:00 in the morning, right? I'm in bed going to sleep.
Okay,
and
I thought you were some words with this shit, bro.
wake
Wow,
up,
okay.
I wake up and this is real shit. I hear blood curdling screams. And you know, we got good soundproofing. And so I'm like, I'm half asleep. So
Right.
part of me is almost thinking like,
That's the motherfucker you
I
forgot
didn't
you had
really hear
tied
that.
up in
Yeah,
your,
look, BDS, you just make sure you ain't, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, you hilarious.
Interfering with nothing, you know, right?
Wow.
50 Shades of Grey going on. You know what
I'm
I'm
saying that
saying?
bullshit with y'all. But no, so I legit at
Safe
some
word.
point,
Yeah.
At
Latte,
some point-
latte.
Yeah, you gotta listen
Latte.
for all that. You gotta listen for all that.
at some point I recognize that that's actually I'm hearing that in real life.
Right.
And so, you know, again, there's a famous study way back in the day, Kitty Genovese study.
That's a freak name.
And this is a woman is getting stabbed something like 45 times outside of an apartment complex, like 7 buildings, and people hear her screaming and watch her getting stabbed.
think the next person gonna help them, though.
Everybody assumes
Yeah.
that it's called the bystander effect, right? Everybody
Yeah.
assumes somebody else called the police because they're obviously watching her get stabbed to death, right?
Right.
So because that's always been in the back of my mind, I hear the scream for real, and I'm like, yo,
Why do you
this
think
is a
about
real
that, though?
scream, right? And so I say, fuck it, I'm up. So I get up and I go to the patio and I open the door and I'm looking and it's dry. You can't see no people.
Right.
And then the scream happens again. And it's coming from like a little parking lot area. And so my point to you is like, or to your point, is I'm like, I can't see what's really going on. What I basically got a hold of was they were arguing. It was a domestic, and you know, how come you don't love me no more? Ah, like it was,
Yeah.
it was not a murder.
You don't know how to twerk.
right? But because then he started screaming in response. He was like, ah, he was like, oh, I'm going back to sleep. Goddamn it. I thought this was serious, but
Woke you up from your freaky dream.
but
Woke my brother up, man.
but in the event that was a real situation, right? To your point, not having cameras in certain places would be that's just an unsolved situation
Yeah.
forever. Whereas there's gonna be some type of culpability. You know what I mean? And I haven't watched Jamal's whole platform on how he's doing it and what his approach is, but
But I think it's time for some new blood, like some fresh thinking, right? Because politics is usually the old guys that never want to pass the torch, right? You have an old mindset. Like it's not 1950s.
so you feel like
60s, 70s,
Lori
80s.
is a part of the standard, you know,
I feel like what?
I got a
Chicago
question
mayor,
for
Lori
you,
Lightfoot.
for you.
Like she's
Oh.
a part of the regular boys crowd. Of
She's
the,
not playing ball with them people, for real.
That's what I'm saying.
She's not playing ball with them
She's
people at
not.
all,
Like,
bro.
she's
At
new
all.
blood.
She's new blood in the sense that she's the first of her kind.
No, she's also not
Bro,
fucking
she's
with
not playing
them.
ball with them people, bro.
Right.
Okay.
They,
all right.
the upper echelon of the politicians in Chicago hate her, bro. You know, because usually, okay, say you want something funny in your fuck all that shit. Fuck, I don't want to talk about you anymore. How about this? You a marketing guru, as you said. You have to sell Chicago on the idea that these cameras are good for us. How would you do that?
That's an interesting, nice task.
So one thing I will mention is they have this either refund or rebate thing they do with the cameras. Like you can buy 3 cameras for your crib, and the city
Yeah,
will
facts.
refund you for that.
talked about that
right?
too, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I think that's a first good step. Is like, hey, we want you to have cameras up for your own property to protect
Right.
yourself, to make sure that
then
mail
you can pick and
theft is a thing,
choose.
right? So I'd pick on the stuff that's very popular and viral. So mail theft is huge. I mean, you see a lot of YouTube
Yeah,
videos,
especially right now.
people setting up booby traps and shit in the mail. So my first campaign
Yeah,
would
for
be
real.
like that. Like I'd run a bunch of like cool videos of like showing off like booby trap mail stuff
From
and how
your home cameras?
Yeah, how
Right, right,
cameras
right.
can help you
are
prevent that.
creative,
So I
right?
mean, I'd pull in a lot of viral elements that are socially relatable, right? Because you don't need a high
That aren't
level
always related to death.
Yeah, you don't need a high level $1 billion campaign for this stuff, right?
Right.
Just do stuff people can see and be like, yeah, that makes fucking sense. Let me go get that.
Right.
And that will help ease this big brother kind of mentality of like watching you through your cameras. It's about support. And so for instance, and another thing I would do is I would pull in like local neighbors. I would make it a neighborly thing, right? So it's like protect your neighbors, because if something happens to them, your cameras
And
could
that's a
be
big one.
used to find the criminal or the assaulter or whoever that was for your neighbor. So
Right.
it'd be like a neighborly thing. But I would allow influencers for different local neighborhoods play into that too. I'm from this neighborhood, make it safe for me too, you know what I'm saying? Or a rapper, or I get all kind of like local people. Even the gang member like leaders, I'll bring them in too.
But he's,
Like, you know
he's
what I'm
like
saying?
legit running for
real, bro.
creative director.
I
of the
want to see
mayor's
where his mind
office,
went with that, bro, for real.
Yeah, it's plenty of ways to slice that one. But
You can't sell people, hey, man, so somebody gonna be watching me. It's hard to sell people on that shit.
No, but this is
You know
but
what I'm
what
saying?
he's saying is
I
this
understood
is
him.
watching for the sake of if something happens. And I
was
think-
great marketing.
And I think the other part of it, and this is the part that maybe Jamal has in his platform that I don't know personally, but with that whole camera thing, you don't have to let them see the footage. It's an optional opportunity. It's just to say that if there were more cameras, there would be more opportunities. Because one thing we all say on this show, and different times, different feelings, ain't too many of these cats that's doing real bullshit that really is affecting our communities ain't getting caught.
Yep.
And it's not that they not super savvy. They not MacGyver. It's not like, you know what I'm saying? These ain't ninjas we talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just not getting caught because there's a lot of it and there's not enough, trackable thing. When you look at England, CCTV,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
You ain't getting away with shit.
No, you got to be smart. You
ain't
got
getting
to
away
hack.
with shit.
You got to hack CCTV.
Right. You got to You got to break into every camera.
Yes.
You only get 5.5 seconds before they fix the shit.
Yeah. That's
So it's just like,
America's ran by too many criminals. They'll never do that.
that might be part of the truth.
yeah.
right,
It's a lot of
what's next
benefit in the financial sector of that part, but
Also, man, I guess, man, rest in peace, man. Brother DJ Twitch, he committed suicide, right?
That was strange.
It's
to me,
very
man.
strange.
This is
You
that
know,
season, though. The holiday season, it takes a toll
Look,
on
man,
motherfuckers.
throw the whole year away, man.
Numbers skyrocket.
Death has been really hitting close to home for me and obviously you.
Facts.
You as well,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
And here's a young, successful brother at 40 years old. And I bring this up because
You're working for Ellen, brother. You know
we
what I'm
talk about mental health a lot, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And he's
Yes.
smiling, he's dancing, he's doing his videos, he's on television, he has 5 different businesses, he's doing well, has a $4 million home, has a wife, has kids. But clearly there was something wrong with him, and he never showed it, he never expressed it. Maybe no one ever checked on him. Maybe he never even got his self-check. But to check out the way he did is beyond me at 40, when you seemingly have everything going for you.
Yeah, I felt terrible just in the sense that it's like, I don't know Ellen, but the idea
She fucked with our boy Dion, so
but also the idea that like he became who he is to the world through that show. And she knew that. She did that on purpose. And so for her to feel that news, right? That was my first place my mind went to because I never knew who he was. I didn't know no DJ Twitch before Ellen.
Well, he was a dancer. He got to start on
DJ Machete.
So you think you could dance or one of those?
Yeah, I
shows?
never knew none of that.
Right.
But I'm just saying, like, so I immediately went to
Then he became a judge on the show.
who am I who would I associate with him and how do they feel? Same thing with Robin Williams. When he died, right? It's like that's a guy that I loved every movie he ever put out, man. He was one of my favorite comedians of all time. Like watching Robin Williams to me was watching theater like in its purest form. And so to hear that he left, and I thought you would have thought he was the happiest man alive. Right? So yeah, I mean, and the fact that he was 40 definitely kind of hit home a little bit for me, man. I don't know. I didn't read up on many of the details, man, but it's definitely sad to hear that brother is no longer here for his family. No longer here for anybody else that, you know what I'm saying, was really,
right, cool.
happy and proud of him.
Yeah, I will say that that's one of the reasons why I like working at the agency I work at, Flowers Communications Group, plug.
No, we on purpose.
But
Flowers.
Flowers Communications Group. I worked at all of them, Leo Burnett, VML, Y&R, et cetera. But we work in a lot of city work. And right now we're doing a lot of mental health focused work. Specifically for the minority communities as well, like multicultural, African American, Latino, Hispanic, etc. And right now we're launching this, doing an activation for this hot chocolate bar. You can look it up in NAMI Chicago. Okay, NAMI. NAMI.
I got the information at home. I carry the cards with me at work.
Dope. And we're doing a partnership with them and Cook County Department of Public Health as well to just help start the conversation around mental health, especially around the holidays. We're releasing radio spots.
Yep.
We're doing all this kind of crazy stuff for these campaigns. And also with the Illinois Department of Insurance, we have a mental health campaign that we're pushing with them as well. So I think that with this, the city recognizes it, the state recognizes that mental health is an issue, especially in our community. So I'm just happy. I just want to say I'm happy to be a part of an agency that is, especially because this isn't a big
boots on the
budget.
ground. I hope
It's not a big budget, so it's
Yeah.
not like she's making a lot of money from this because we're capped financially.
for sure.
But she cares so much about this initiative that she took it on as an agency anyway. Outside of the big dogs like the Leos and the whatnot that wouldn't even touch this business because it's too cheap for them, right? So yeah, I would encourage people. NAMI Chicago, definitely CCDPH. If you need someone to talk to, definitely reach out to them. But yeah, we are working on this campaign. So when you see it and you hear it on the radio stations, that's us.
That's dope, man. That's really
this
good
goes
to know.
back. This connects to part of our show last week. We were talking about. We also have a Facebook group that's pretty fucking good.
Okay.
One of our participants, he's actually my homie, Antonio King is his real name. Him and his homie sit in a circle, and I think it's monthly. And if they're feeling away, they cry about that shit.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, release.
They cry about it though. We had our jokes about it, but in the end, it's a real thing. We know it's serious. A lot of times I've experienced personally, but I understand from a different lens, in a different lens, that you can tell somebody I'm not okay, but if they don't speak the same language you speak, they not getting it. They're not receiving. Say, hey man, I need some help. So we got to get past the point of being ashamed, afraid, or embarrassed to say, hey man, McKinney, bro, I'm not okay. Mind you, I don't feel good upstairs, bro. You know what I'm saying? However cool way you gotta say that shit, man. You can also tell certain words. I tell people, when people get into their music bag, it tells a lot about how they feeling. Because everybody got musical bags. It tells a lot about how they fucking feeling. You know what I'm saying? All the time, bro. You gotta check on your people. Yeah. Check on your. The other day, I was feeling the way the other day. Honestly, moment of transparency. I was feeling the way the other day, bro. But I realized because I was working so much overtime, I was tired. So I just unplug and do nothing the whole day. I felt better the next day. You know what I'm saying? I always told myself that if I felt how I felt in 2020, I would go get professional help. You know what I'm saying? I thought I was starting to feel the way going on the path, but it wasn't. It was just mental fatigue. So I was really happy about that. But it made me think, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey man, it's that time of year. People are struggling. People are missing loved ones. The holidays, people are missing loved ones. Sure. They widowers, you know what I'm saying? Kids gone. Now, especially in the day and age where everybody losing their... You shouldn't be burying your kids at this rate. Yeah, man. You should not be burying... This is all, not just Chicago, all across the goddamn country, burying your kids in the alarming rate over nickels, dimes, replaceable shit, material
blocks
shit.
You don't own.
Shit like that, man, So, look here, man. All of you that hear this show, bro, call your auntie, your uncle, call the crazy uncle, y'all hide in the back closet, check on him, go look on him, slide for food. Check on your friends, your loved ones, man, But on a lighter note, though, I always tell the shorties, the little homies, if you go into a girl crib and she banging Summer Walker, and I was like,
run,
music, run, bro.
Some of the
Get the fuck out of dog, bro. I love her. She can sing. Great music.
But SZA's new album,
it's toxic as hell. I love it, though.
SZA's new album, she
It's
got
fire.
a song that's
fire. But it's toxic as
Bro.
fuck.
Yeah, can you fuck me and leave and not call me? I was like, man, this girl pimping.
This one say, I ain't gonna lie, man, because I rock with them. I do. I love the songs. I love the music. And part of me is like, I just like the truth telling. A lot of times it's truth telling that they doing. But bruh, she got one that say, I think it's Seek and Destroy.
I like that one.
Oh my God.
It's a good album, though. It's a good album. It's very toxic, but she also is
line.
explaining the toxicity of women, though.
Yeah.
She is.
She
It's
ain't,
dope.
they
It's
equal
revealing and it's
opportunity.
programming.
It's a two-way mirror.
It's programming.
Yes.
Because damn.
I'll say this, man.
Like-
I'll say this. I'm sorry. My
Go ahead.
bad.
No,
I
you
didn't cut
good.
What kind of material is that in your shirt, though, bro, for real?
Because we hey, here's the
Come
funniest
on, fam.
part.
Come on,
Let
let's
me
talk
tell you
about it,
why
bro.
this is super funny. So on my way out of class today, that's
you,
my
man.
last
That shit
class
is trash.
today.
Is it water
I'm
repellent,
walking
too?
out, and one of my
Water
favorite
resistant?
students, she goes, She goes, why is your shirt made like that? And I was like, what are you talking about? She was like, why is it like that? I was like, I don't understand what you're saying. Like, use your words. And she was
You
like,
knew what she was saying.
She was like, why is it made of that material? I was like, I didn't make the shirt.
But you bought the shirt.
In
So I
Chicago
was
language,
like, I like
that motherfucker ugly as hell. That's Chicago language.
Why did it look like that?
But real talk, this is Sir Madam. And actually, here's why I like it. It is super suave.
Button all the way up, too, boy. You ain't
yeah,
killing
I
them.
was on that.
Well, what
But
penny
it's got
loafers at? You need penny loafers.
The inside is very like warm. You know what I'm saying? So it doubles.
Okay.
It feels like it's got jacket vibes. It also has like the
Multi-purpose.
And the fact that it gets everybody's attention.
I hate your shirt, bro.
The fact that it gets everybody's attention wherever I go. That's my favorite part.
That's a conversation
boy got a
starter.
button-up raincoat on.
Button-up
Sir
raincoat.
Madam, you know what I'm talking about? And it feels kind of like that too. Yeah.
I bet.
Very smooth. Very
Poncho, that shirt, a
sexy.
poncho. It doubles as a poncho as well.
But a poncho. But no. What I was gonna say is, in that same vein, and this is something that's real, that's associated, but also a part of it is like, as you do get older, you have more to look back on.
Facts.
No matter how
Good or
successful
bad.
you are, you always look at what you didn't, or what never was, or what could have been. Like, in fact, I would venture to say that in today's world, the older you get, the harder it is to stay happy, because all you get to see is these new people coming in. You get to see it,
Time
right?
passing you by.
Before, if you were the up and coming ad agency guy, I had to be in ad agency to know that.
Yep.
I couldn't just go to your page and see that you got all this amazing shit going on and then be comparing me to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I couldn't do that, right? I had to know that. We had to be in the same circle or the same stratosphere in some capacity, right?
Yep.
And so I think what comes along with this mental health piece is the fact that it's like you have moments in your career where you 100% didn't hit the mark.
Yeah.
And the older you get, it's harder to forgive yourself for those things, right? Because you're looking
Facts, bro. Facts.
you're looking at
Facts.
people who didn't miss the mark, or at least you don't know what mark they missed,
Facts.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
but
yeah,
it looks
yeah.
similar, right? So we in the same conversation, it's like somebody asked me, I got an upcoming venture. I won't speak about it in detail yet, but I have an upcoming venture.
Can I tell them?
And somebody said, somebody
It's okay
said,
if you do. He just can't do it because it'll be
somebody
bad.
said, well, why don't you take this to them and then partner with them and then you could blow up? And I was like, yeah. I said, but the
They'll
issue
steal it.
I have with that is that I've done that once before, where I took the idea, the creative, to the individual and was like, yeah, man, this is what I got going on, man. I think like this is really highlighting your shit.
And you blink and it's
And
over
then
with.
no, and they just did that shit without me.
Yeah, blink and they rip you.
Right? And so there's a space now where I do feel trepidation when I'm like,
That's 8. I
you
like
know what
that
I'm
word.
saying? Like,
ACT word.
you know, do I put in a HRQ, a 50?
RFQ. All kind of acronyms.
Like, do I do one of those knowing that once the idea is over there, right?
Can't protect it no more.
Exactly.
Can't protect it.
And if it's not, if the idea is only mine, I'm only protecting the creative idea. I'm not protecting what the merch is or what the product is. And that's not my actual question. My real point is this: is in that same process, bro. So then let's say I don't do it.
Right.
Let's say I completely go, you know what? I don't trust it. And then 3 years down the line, somebody else does something very similar and they go skyrocket. It's hard to believe that the older you get, you're not going to regret things.
That's a real thing.
And if you
That
don't
weighs on
happen
you.
to find yourself in a space in life where you can feel comfortable, like, you know what? Maybe I missed that boat. Fine. Right? But I'm okay here. I'm okay with what I got. If you are in a
tell
situation
yourself
where
that.
you don't feel that, that's when I think you find yourself in these really desperate mental health places, right? When you don't see what you do have based on what you could have had.
Yeah, there's so much to unpack here, man. Because like mental health, like I know it may sound cliche, but it is all about perspective, right? So
You want the money.
Everybody can determine like how they get there, right? Because there's different roads to get into like perspective and seeing that it's okay for shit to happen.
Right.
It's just how you
Facts.
react to that shit that happens. But my thing was Afghanistan, right? So before I went to Afghanistan, I was all over the place. I mean, the Marine Corps grounded me a little bit, because I'd be in class and be like, oh shit, a butterfly. You know what I'm saying? Like I just be trailing off.
I do that now.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but the focus that I gained from the Marine Corps,
Except for they butterflies.
it helped settle me, right? But
at
Afghanistan
ass.
was that moment where I was like, after war, coming back, getting parking tickets was okay. You know what I'm saying? Because I have brothers that aren't alive right now that can't get parking tickets. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. I see what you're saying, yeah.
So
I see where you're going, yeah.
yeah. So it
I see where
doesn't.
you're
Nothing
going.
compares to
Yeah.
war, right? But I don't want everybody to have that experience because
Right.
I came out okay. I went in a little bit older, but people have their own threshold, right? So I would always encourage people to kind of just pause, take a moment to think about all of the things that you think are favorable. That I don't use good or bad. I use favorable or unfavorable.
I like that.
Because everything
Words matter.
It's in
yeah,
perspective.
everything is good,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
There's no such
Life
thing
is
as a
good.
bad thing because if you experience a turmoil instance and you came out of that, you should be a lot stronger, right? Pending that you got the right help you needed, right? Or the things you go through may not be your story for you. You know what I'm saying? You might be going through something for somebody else.
Yep.
Right? So it's all about perspective. So people, I just wish
That's dope,
that
bro.
they would like take a step back and just say, let me pause, let me breathe, let me not get too excited or emotional about this, and let me assess what this means for me. Does it mean I have to be stronger? Does it mean I have to be a little bit more patient? Does it mean I have to react differently to this the next time it happens? Because life is going to continue to go on. You're going to get older, and you will have
With
more
or
things
without
to
your
fail.
consent.
Right?
Right.
Like it's just
I'm calling police if it happen,
It's just
though.
going to happen. But my thing from Afghanistan was like, okay, shit happens. Eventually it'll end, and then something else will happen. Right? So it's just I get parking tickets or I get my car towed or what. It's just all right. Let me go get it. Let me get the money to pay it.
Right.
I'm not going to get upset and go shoot somebody.
But
or do
you've
something
seen
crazy.
people melt down.
Yeah.
You've
Yes.
seen people
Yep.
like say,
over cold coffee.
Yeah.
Okay,
Karens
in
are
the
real thing.
office. Like, bro, just relax.
Right.
We'll put another pot on for you. Just wait 15 minutes. Wait 15 minutes.
But no,
We
but
got you.
Like,
that's
you know,
interesting.
like,
got
That's
you.
really interesting.
it definitely is about perspective. It's about the experiences you have But I
Right.
don't want to slight anyone's own personal experiences because
Sure.
again, everybody
you're
has their
not-
own
you're not.
thresh. So
Yeah.
that cold coffee, might
That's
set it off.
It's a trigger. It's a
Yeah, it
trigger.
might set him
Like,
off.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He might have been in traffic and like.
Your hand raised like we in
So-
class.
So I just want to say, basically, you had the same attitude I had. Fuck it.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, Cat Williams said it best, man. These light bills
Just
due.
fuck it. Just fuck
These
it.
kids knocking at
Just
my
fuck it.
door, ain't got no food.
Just gotta take care. That's
Yeah.
Put that on a t-shirt
Fuck
under
these
Nike sign,
fuckers.
upside down like the Newport. Just fuck it. I like that.
Yeah, and most people don't notice about me, and I don't want to talk too much about my.
You miss
my
your
stuff,
cigarettes,
but,
bro?
I was a homeless veteran out of
See
the
that?
Marine Corps. So
You
like
really?
I was living on the South Loop area. You know where the Shell gas station is by the highway.
Yeah.
I used to chill by that bridge over there when I got out of the Marine Corps.
It's a lot of
Yeah, it's a lot of money. But this was back in like 2012. Like
Yeah,
this was that time. And then I was going to school at the time. So I still was going to school because the Marine Corps paid for that. But I couldn't work due to my disability that I have. And I'm pretty messed up. I've had 2 jaw surgeries. I've had I have to have, I think, spinal surgery
And
soon.
this is from war?
Yeah,
God
all
damn,
Afghanistan.
man.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you
I mean,
was out,
he's a Marine.
I was-
you was out there getting
Kind of
in.
war.
I'm
No,
gonna take, I'm gonna
Marines,
take a shower and take a shot now.
yeah,
Shit.
Marines are different kind of war.
Shots, man. Shots.
So
Marines,
damn.
Marines are the ones that go there and nobody knows they was there, and if they made it out, nobody
Well, I
knows
mean-
they made it
Well,
out.
see, this is my problem right here,
dead
though.
ass.
I really have a real issue because my mom's brothers and my dad's brothers, they all fucking served. The majority of them served. Majority of them served. And I think it's super shitty how they come home still to this day. They don't have jobs. You don't
Yeah.
have good. You don't have. One of the worst hospitals you can go to is the fucking VA. It's just terrible.
Yeah, so the transition, it's gotten better. But the transition when I came out was pretty bad. I didn't have a real setup.
That's poor planning. That's poor planning on the Army's part.
Yeah,
and
100%. It should have been
too,
some
though.
kind of transition
Yes.
into like an occupation scenario
Yeah.
or something like that. But what happened on top of that was I had student loans. Remember, I went to school before the Marine Corps.
And they supposed to pay for that.
No, if you're an officer, it's retroactive. Right, I didn't go as
right,
I went
right,
enlisted, so ain't shit for me. But when I got out, I didn't know that when I was in Afghanistan that they put my loans into collections, right? So I was even
Somebody
trying to
else
go
told
to
us.
I was even trying to go to
Was
rent
Deion
places,
saying that?
and they were like, we can't rent to
Goddamn.
you because you have this large amount.
Deion was
but
saying the same shit.
But I didn't know that until the 4th place I went to apply to live in, and they were like, you got a large amount on your credit history. We can't rent to you because that's in collections.
Wow.
And so I had to go through and show them my medical records because I got medevaced out of Afghanistan. So I had to recover in Landstuhl, Germany. And then once I was stable, I went to North Carolina. But that whole period, I didn't know about no callers calling me about Navi and
Right,
Sally Mae
yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Well,
Sally
man,
Mae.
I'm in ICU right now. What the fuck you talking about? So
I'm not getting even to my address no more. I don't even live there.
I'm gonna send you this application. You sign it. We're gonna refinance
Right,
your shit.
yeah, like what the fuck?
By the way, he was the one calling. He was working for that attorney downtown that
Big bonus
worked all
checks.
that.
Big bonus checks for Navien and Sally Mae. Let me
Yeah,
tell you.
you know about it. So, but I had to submit all my paperwork for that. That's why they took it back out of collections after they saw my medical records.
Yeah.
They saw that I was medevac. All this shit I had to prove. They took it out of there.
How much
and
red
then,
tape was that? Go through those.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, I was
Jesus.
homeless for 9 months, but it's 6 months of processing for them to even pull that back. And then that's when I graduated. And the crazy thing about it, my teacher would always ask me, "Why are your eyes so red?" And I used to joke about it like, "Oh, you gave us a lot of homework." But I was homeless. I
I
played
had
this
that-
game.
I
Bitch,
had
I'm
a-
homeless.
So, like,
What's wrong with you?
I had a
Life
song
is
just
real.
like that.
yeah,
That
and it
shit's
was
real.
tough because like they had rich parents, my classmates, so they always had like multiple sketchbooks and
Right.
color pencils and shit. And I would come in with my like 3-page sketchbook, like trying to do my homework and shit because I couldn't afford it. My mom was poor as well,
That's
so
deep,
I couldn't do that. But nonetheless, that's what I say all that to say. That it's about perspective. Like I've been through a lot of shit, even more than what I just told you.
Yeah, you
crazy.
walk
So,
around like Dick Gregory and fucking Denzel Washington.
I
around
would
this
have never
motherfucker
known
now,
that shit.
like,
I would have never known that shit.
yeah, I've had a tough life.
smooth as shit.
When you walked in,
Exactly.
yeah.
He doesn't. You don't carry that on you.
He Barack
You don't carry
Obama
that on you.
Jr. Like
Yeah,
he's-
before I was 16, I almost died like 3 times. Like I was in the
Damn.
ER 3 times as a kid. Yeah, a bunch of stuff. Like I've been through a lot of
I
shit.
mean, you have-
Perspective is
you're here for a
real.
reason,
You're right.
man.
You know what? I apologize for all the times I complained about these children. I no longer seek.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's again, anyone can get through anything. It's just
So
perspective.
do you gravitate toward people that have similar experiences? Because I think somehow you may not even know a person, but I believe in energy. You know, I do believe in energy to a degree. You know, like-minded people tend to get together. People that have similar energy tend to kind of gravitate toward each other. Though, do you know people that have been through a lot like you, and how'd you meet these? Like, do you just to gravitate toward people and hear their stories and be like, damn, that's why we kind of connect a little bit?
No, I haven't had that experience.
Okay.
Mine's been the opposite. I've always gravitated towards people that either I can help with in something, right? They're not been through what I've been through, but they just might need a mentor, or they might need to know what they need to do after they graduate from college. Like, I used to speak at universities.
Okay.
And on the spot, I would help students like figure out what they need to do.
What are you doing right now? What's the next thing?
You need to do this.
Yeah,
You need to do, and then they always invited me back to speak at the universities because they were like, that was really good what you did. And the
It's
kids
effective.
actually did it.
It's takeaway.
But even people that I would meet, my mentors, I would gravitate towards people that were somewhere I wanted to be, or can give me something that I could use to better myself and then help others. Like, even I just gave a girl yesterday my PS4 because she's a very attractive girl, and I was like, yo, you can make a lot of money on YouTube just being a gamer. Just just do a cosplay. And there's a game coming up called Forspoken. I don't know if you guys
Real game, because I didn't know none
like
of the words.
Forspoken.
I don't know what.
Forspoken is a new video game as a female protagonist or woman protagonist. I don't be PC here.
Right.
But there's a part in the game where you can change your fingernail colors and designs for like different powers.
Yeah.
Right? And so I told her
different augments, yeah.
Yeah, you know what it is.
Yep.
So I told her
I've heard that term
Augments.
before.
so I told her just look at the game and then go to the nail shop and get your nails done like in the fucking game
Give you
designs,
powers, yeah.
Forspoken designs, right?
That's dope.
And then that's your cosplay for the game, and your YouTube, you going skyrocket. And she's like, okay. So I'm gonna help her. I'm gonna design on her YouTube,
Why
like
you give it
headers and
PS5?
shit, and
Why
like.
you give it PS5?
Nah, hell no. I check that. Nah. The PS4 collecting dust in the living room. I was like, yeah, you can take that. You can take
That PS5 too hard to come by.
Hey, you shut me down. I'm trying to act like I'm helping people and shit. You like,
Hey, I was standing like way too long for that.
goddamn.
Hey, that's a whole nother trauma I went through.
I was
Man,
hungry for that
bro.
damn thing. That is a whole nother story, bro. We're not gonna get into that. That fights and
think it was
shit.
gonna
Like,
happen.
listen. But anyway, yeah. Go.
But no, it's funny you actually bring up gaming because I want to give Black Excellence. Like, I like to shout out our black people making real moves.
I named my PS5 too,
You know
though.
what I mean? So hold on, check this shit out, man.
I named my PS5.
We have the first black-owned video gaming store in Chicago.
What?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Where?
His name. First, let me give you his name.
Oh, he can't read.
No, his name is
Criminal.
It's a Z at the first of his first. So you already thought. This is start off with a Z.
This is Zodri Pickens. That's easy. Zodri Pickens.
What is it?
Zodri
I
Pickens.
bet you that's not how you
Zodri
say it.
Pickens.
Zodre, maybe.
Zodre.
Spell
Zodre. Zodrey. Zodre.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Zodre Pickens. All right.
Why I do it like that, man?
The address is 7757 South Cicero. All right. It's called Big G Video
It's
Game.
by the mall. It's by what
Not
mall is that?
Evergreen. No, it ain't by Evergreen.
Forest City. Forest City.
Yeah.
So when you say
Yeah,
game, it's
75th
like
over
his
there,
game
yeah.
store. It's
His
not like a
game store.
GameStop or is it?
No, it's his game store. It looks like it's very similar to GameStop.
PS5 on the cover, too.
Platform, yeah.
PS5.
But yeah,
Horizon, I got that.
first
Yeah.
black owned
I got it.
That's
video
what's up.
game
Shout
store.
out.
That's dope.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, that's
What's
dope.
up?
That's dope.
So shout out
Brother
to him.
Z.
I will be there tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm gonna reach out. We go pull up at his store. You know what I'm saying? And show him some
That
love.
makes sense.
Show him some love.
That makes sense. 77.
He
what
said
did you say it was?
ZODRY.
What's the name of the store?
All right, so we got he has a list. Here's the website. It's www.bitg as in God videogames.com. And now he has two addresses on here. So it's 13606 Cicero Avenue, which is
that's
Crestwood.
South Suburbs, yeah.
That's Crestwood. And then the other address is 7757 South Cicero.
Is it BIG as in Biggie Smalls?
No, BIT as in big.
BIT. So
Yeah,
like
Bitcoin.
Big G.
Yeah.
Big
Big
G.
Games.
Yep.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's dope.
So that's my brother Pickens, man. Shout out to him.
Yeah,
shit.
that's what's up.
Good shit,
Yeah,
man.
I'ma definitely go
I
over
bust his
there.
ass in Mortal Kombat, though.
You and his Mortal Kombat, bro.
I'm gone with it. Mortal Kombat, oh, man.
Hey, now before we got here, I kind of want to bring up a topic, and I want you to even join in on this, right? What's the moment in your career that you felt challenged by someone else in your career? You like, nah, who you talking to? Like, what was that moment where you like, nah, I'm a whole man before I'm anything else?
Mine
Wait,
is
are we
easy.
saying just like in general? Or are you saying
In general,
no, I mean
in
like
your professional career.
yeah,
In
that's
your
what I'm saying.
professional
So it's like where somebody who is low key your peer or your competition is challenging.
career.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Competition?
I don't know if it's competition, but you know,
Well, I have a very infamous story.
Because random people talk to me
Yeah.
like they don't know who I am all the time.
if you've
And
ever
I'm just
felt
like, I ain't got time to
challenged,
talk
if
to
you've
you.
ever felt challenged in your career, right? You let's say dealing with a boss.
I've never felt
right?
challenged. I felt pressed. I felt I was being treated unfairly by a captain because I didn't have a coochie and titties. He was very favorable toward women. I'm fine with that. Cool. You man, you should. I don't think you like men, but you're just some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But I think he felt if he Even recently, a sergeant had to check his ass too, though. I say, man, we can go outside and talk, bro.
Hey,
But I
Dakota,
shit, though.
man, stop fucking with a boss.
But I had a captain. That's funny as hell. I had a captain years ago just pick at me for no reason. So one day he said something to me. I told him to suck my dick in front of everybody. Man, suck my dick, Joe. For
That's
real.
strong.
Because before I'm a cop, I'm a man. I'm a fucking man.
Well, I mean-
I've let you pick at me for 5-6 months. That's enough.
Those are fighting words too. You was trying to attack
no.
him.
I still that
that was-
motherfucker.
yeah,
I say he got friends around the whole job. I say, man, he retired now too. I say, Joe, I don't fuck with Mark Buslick. You know what I'm saying? Fuck him.
Fuck you,
Government.
Mark.
If you see him,
The whole
if you see him, told him I
Thank
said
God
it.
I ain't got no car. I ain't got no license plate on file.
Because
You
he
can't
retired now,
find me.
I say, y'all tell y'all boy, if he doing something illegal in the city and he drive through his district and I see him, I'm locking his ass up. He ain't police no more.
Wow.
He done,
Oh.
Joe. Fuck dude.
That's even worse.
Yeah, fuck him.
Okay. All right.
But so you felt challenged by him because
Yes, he made
was
my
just-
job hard. Once I told him that,
because he was your superior.
and he could manipulate what time I started work. He took me out my beat car. He put me in lockup. He just moved me all around.
Okay, I know that
That's
stuff.
some movie
He did
stuff
that shit. I'm like,
there,
man, fuck you,
I know
dude.
that
That's
stuff.
crazy.
Well, say the question one more time just so I'm clear.
When was the first time you felt challenged?
First?
When was the time?
Well, when was the time?
Stop
Not
changing the
even first
goddamn
time.
question, man.
I'm sorry.
You done read it 3 times, 3 different ways.
Wow, felt challenged.
Criminal justice.
What?
Yeah.
What's okay? Here it is.
He didn't even write the question.
I did write the question.
this shit off YouTube somewhere else.
See, the
I think a better question
I
would
don't
be:
get.
was there a point in your career where you were challenged by someone, or what was a challenging point in your career?
Well, the crazy
You know what
part
I'm saying?
That's what I was thinking.
The
Yeah,
crazy
something
part
like
is,
that, yeah.
you guys had an opportunity to change this prior to show, right? And I don't know if you guys look.
I'm not complaining about the motherfucker. What are you complaining to me for?
No, I'm just saying, 'cause
What, eye contact with me? I didn't do
It's
shit.
reading.
So
Just basically,
the original question states:
What's the challenging part
moment
of your
in your
career?
career that you felt challenged?
What's the challenging part of your career?
How
What you
that
say,
looks like
Kelly?
for
What
you.
you say?
Personally, the challenge with me was in the early 2000s when I was trying to own a barbershop
Right.
down here in the South Loop.
Yeah, exactly.
I went through business, racial stuff like it was nothing.
Right. So you say so they can't hear you.
I'm not even gonna lie.
You can't. That mic.
A motherfucker got the cash money for it and sitting right here with a cashier's check and everything right there to take care of the
Yeah, they hit
They
you with
still
the
said no.
next license.
2 years and all that, and you go through all the bullshit, it makes you want to fucking quit.
Facts.
As a black
Facts.
man trying to, and I'm talking about early.
Wait, how long you been here?
I've been here for almost 5 years, but I've been downtown for 23 years.
Hey man, clap it up for black people having business downtown.
That's what's up.
Roadblock.
Just in case you couldn't hear what he said, what he
Roadblock.
basically said was like when he started trying to open up his business downtown, South Loopish, still downtown, whatever. The concept of being a black man, they come up with new rules.
Of course.
And
On Earth
everybody,
they do that.
every black-owned business partner that we've known, that we've hung out with, all that, they all say the same
Same
shit.
story.
All of a sudden, there's this new ordinance that just comes out of nowhere. The day before you ready to open,
That's fucked up.
they came through yesterday. They checked all the boxes. Like, you're good. All right,
Yep,
man.
yep,
Congratulations. Thank you so much. And then
Yeah, it's just hard, did he?
5 hours before
Damn,
you
he
open,
you assaulted this
3
man, brother.
new people show up. And them 3 people show up like, oh, no, he didn't tell you? Oh, no, yeah, you got this whole other line item. You got to be able to do this, that, and the other. You like, yo, who knows? But by this point, you're invested. By this point, all your investors are invested. By this point, you can't turn back. So they got you by your heels, Pauls, right? Like they legit got you, right? So I've heard that. I've
There you
heard
go,
that
boy.
conversation
Wait a minute.
from just about every black
First of
business
all, you're
owner
not gonna
I've
speed
known
past
that
that
didn't
like you
try and
didn't just say
open up
what
a
you just said.
business in a non-black neighborhood. So yeah, I definitely hear what you're saying,
I
man.
haven't changed my response then because I think it was 2 points in my life, period, though. Basketball was a career for me at one point. When I realized I wasn't going to play anymore, that was
year
rough.
was that?
That was challenging. That was 2002-ish.
Was this like you were still trying your hardest and then just realized like they was gonna cut you anyway?
I made some mistakes because I didn't have anybody that knew what to do as far as operating in the overseas space. You know what I'm saying?
You needed a
So
handler.
you were
I-
doing
I-
something.
yeah, absolutely.
Got you.
Right,
You were
so
managing your own business.
That was
at the same
difficult,
time.
yeah. And then when I got on this police job, got on this police job, when I realized I'm not gonna sit here and let y'all watch and let y'all mishandle my brothers and sisters. So now, first of all, it's like the art of war. I had to size these motherfuckers up first. See, he was cool. See, he was on the fence.
How many
See,
of
he
y'all
all
I'ma
for the
fight?
bullshit, huh?
Right.
That too, or how much pushback would I get?
Right.
For say, hey man, stop that. It came a point where a guy had a warrant. This guy was cool with me. He's cool with me. He never gave me, when I say that, I mean he never gave me problems. He wasn't a good guy because he was a domestic abuser. Let's separate that.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Got it.
He never gave me issue, but he was a female beating motherfucker. So he had a warrant. We go to the house for domestic. He finna go. I'm like, you finna go this time, bro. I can't do nothing for you. All right, I got you, OT, man. You good. You been good to me. You good. The others came through. We put them in the car, start punching them. I'm like, nah, we stopping that
much.
shit. I say,
Right.
out my mouth, I said, hey, if he files a complaint against y'all, I'm gonna be his witness.
signing it.
I'm gonna be his witness. I'm gonna be his witness, bro.
Yeah.
And that point, they kind of looked at me, pushed away. They stopped fucking with me. I fought like 5 police officers in the locker room.
I believe it.
Boy, I be whooping their motherfucking ass, boy.
believe it.
I
Yourself?
don't- Yes.
Wow.
Not 5 at one time, bro.
Yeah.
Just I ain't
I mean,
Thanos,
they don't
goddamn.
be
God damn, bro. But
Ain't
when you
Thanos.
talk shit to me, I want you to back that shit up. If you whoop me, you whoop me. I ain't whooped in a long time, though. You know what I'm saying? But we go handle. I got one on video. I'll show y'all, bro. I walked with this motherfucker, bro. His name's Cirillo. Fuck you, too. I walked up on him.
Bruh.
I walked up for Joe.
I love it.
This why I don't
That's
drive.
why he good at Mortal Kombat, bro. That's why he good at Mortal Kombat. He be in there like, he be in CPD mode, like, I'm going to locker room, boy.
If I had a car, I'm glad you got a new car.
Damn.
I'm glad you got a new car. I'm glad they don't know what kind of car you drive.
We from
Boy,
that
you
era,
don't
though,
get the
man.
35 new
Man,
tickets.
if you saying something about it, do something about it, bro. I walked up on that motherfucker in his locker. I hit the corner of him like a movie. He just started shaking. He like, I said, man, because I wasn't even at work. They be talking shit, cracking jokes, man. I'm looking like, bro, your name's Cirillo, right? He said, yeah. I said, man, I'm a boss. He was talking about my brother. He was like, well, I would just shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, man. Yeah, get the fuck up out of here, bro. It's
I think
stupid,
most
man.
challenging. I mean, it's hard to answer the question on career because I've had like 10 different careers.
Okay.
Like I've had the entertainment career, I've had the DJ career, I've got the education career. Like so one career is
Any
hard
of
to
those
pick.
spaces, whatever. I mean, just-
Nah, but I will say the most challenging moment that's related to wanting to be successful in whatever it was, right? And this is funny because I didn't think about this until you just said that just now. Like, I remember that day where I was in college, I had my own crib, and you know, at that age, I was probably like 20, 21. By all accounts, like compared to my peers, like
You was winning.
I,
Yeah, you winning.
I got a car.
You here for the win.
I'm in college. I don't owe nobody no money. I ain't got no student loans. I ain't got no baby mamas. Right? Like I got 2-3 jobs, and I'm DJing. I'm doing shows.
You
like-
outside. You outside.
Like
Yeah.
I'm okay, right?
yeah.
Living my best life.
And what's crazy is it wasn't until I can't say specifically how it turned to this point, but there was a day where I realized that the job tape went away, you know, different circumstances, different situations had happened. So I wasn't working and I was still in school, but the creative thing was like, okay, I'm gonna get rich on this DJing thing.
Right.
Right. And then me and my cousin was like, oh, we gonna be the best producers of all time. Nobody knows hip hop like us. And there was a day where I realized that I was at the crib and I had to choose, because back then I used to make my money by selling mixtapes. Like, so that's what I'm saying. When you were talking about the Ad2 thing, I'm like, wow. But I lived on the south side. And the only place that you could sell mixtapes back then was
Gas
on the
station?
north side. Nah.
Wicker Park.
Yeah,
Wicker
you
Park.
had to be on the north side. You had to be at
Foot traffic. Foot traffic.
You wasn't selling no real hip hop mixtapes. Like, unless it was gangster rap,
Gucci
like
and all that, the Gucci
shooting
era.
everybody
Yeah.
on 47th. What that ain't, and you ain't selling.
Why
you
you
ain't
do-
selling hip hop on 47th.
Why you do
in Cottage
47 like
Grove.
that, man?
Now, back then, I'm telling you, it wasn't happening. On the corner I lived on, bro, was BD's right here, GD's right here, Vice Lords right here, and the regular niggas over here. Like, it was 4 different gangs on 4 corners every night. But the thing is, I used to have to sell CDs to eat. Like, legit.
That's why you
I wasn't
skinny?
quite
That's why you skinny, bro?
homeless. I wasn't quite
You were
homeless.
eating it
I
all.
still
You
had
too
a
good
crib.
at it.
You wasn't eating it.
But to be fair, I was only paying $175 a month for my crib. No utilities. And my crib was
box
as
was
big
this?
as that area.
Say what box?
No box was
It
living in,
was a
bro.
box, bro. I didn't have a
Jesus.
kitchen sink.
Eesh.
I had to wash dishes in the tub.
That's real shit though, bro.
Right?
Yeah.
Like,
Real shit,
legit.
though.
Right? Now, but here's the crazy part. We talking about some damn. At the time, nigga, I was like, I'm winning. I was like, bro, I got my own joint. Like,
Perspective.
The lake
There you
right
go,
there.
right?
Perspective.
Right? The
Goddamn.
lake right there. Like, I'm not with you.
The lake
What you
right
talking about? But it was. I remember the day where I got down, you know.
Damn.
I didn't sell no mixtapes or whatever the case may be, bro. And I was sitting at the crib and I must have had like $6. Like, I had nothing in my account. I had nothing in my
McRib
pocket.
time.
But I had 25 mixtapes. And the thing is, the amount of money I had was either go get a burger and a 40 ounce, right? Because you can eat and then drink an old E40 and be full.
That was fine.
Right? No, back then, this was a $3 situation. Or I could get on the train
And go sell them
and
tapes.
go north.
Go hustle.
But if I get up there and I don't
strike
sell
out,
no
and you whiff.
mixtapes, I ain't got no way home. Bro, I'm not bullshitting you. That's the moment that I can, when you said that, like I said, it's somewhat related to my career, but the real life is just about, like you said, it's just like, yo. And I do remember getting on the train to go sell the mixtapes, and I do remember that it just so happened to be that when I got down there, I don't remember who the artist was, but it was in that North Damon, Milwaukee area.
Milwaukee.
Whoever was at Double Door that night, because I was, obviously it was me, you, Q, everybody, John Brown, we all selling the mixtapes. Whoever was at Double Door that night, it was some hip hop artist. And Liz Toussaint was there. And I sold out.
Good.
And I just remember on my way home, I ain't never gonna be in this position again.
Right.
I ain't never gonna be down to one bus transfer or train transfer to live.
real,
And I
though.
ain't been since.
That's real.
Bus trains.
Hey, low key, that's when I quit DJ.
Yeah.
That's a real humbling
Bro.
situation that puts you in perspective of I ain't got no choice. It is what it is. If I
It's
go up
do or
there,
die. It's do or die.
But the reality,
I gotta get back.
but the reality is,
I gotta get home.
I had enough family. I ain't gonna front. I had enough family. If I'd have called somebody and be like, "Hey, I'm down bad," they would have sent me money, no problem.
Yeah.
Like I didn't
That's not
want to
who
do
you
that.
are, though. That's not who you are.
I didn't want to admit to them that I had
Yeah.
fallen to that level. Like, no, I was never gonna be. Thankfully, I was never gonna be out here stuck for real.
I'm doing that today still.
Right.
Since the pandemic, and I ain't never ever asked.
Nobody. You ain't get no PPPs though. You ain't-
I wish. I should. I'm doing shit next time. Straight up. I'm taking off.
When the pandemic hit right here,
Uh-huh.
I was still paying this shit.
Yeah.
I didn't have no choice
Yeah.
because I knew what it could do. Longevity.
Yeah, man.
And leaving a legacy.
Got to stay in the game.
What about you?
Well, I was gonna say what isn't being preached right now is that men have to go through things in order to be stronger men, right? It was something like a saying like strong men or a hard society makes a strong man, or a soft society makes a strong. Soft society makes a weak man, and a hard society makes a strong man, right?
okay.
I had to get that right, but that's what we don't have today. We have a very soft society,
Malleable
right?
society, yeah.
Right, and then no offense to single mothers, but we have single mothers raising men out here,
Come on
which
now.
make them soft.
Come on now.
And then when they go through something tough, as I mentioned, no offense to you, that cold coffee, they be trying to flip out and want to be like, shoot everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
Right.
like, relax.
Right.
Calm
Emotional,
down,
cool, emotional.
right?
Right.
Logic. And
can heat that shit
find,
up.
Yes, find a solve and then
Right.
move forward, right? But we aren't presenting enough tough times for young men today to go
Yeah.
through.
My coach
And
used to say
so-
all the time, tough times don't last, but tough people do.
Wait,
Yeah.
I want to
You'll figure it
finish
out.
that point.
You
Finish
figure it
that
out.
point.
Yeah. So I was just gonna say that that is the moment when young men become true men is when they go through that tough time and then they come out on the other end like, damn, I did that, and
can
then
make it.
that's what creates a
I can
good
make it.
leader,
But
and
you're
then
saying
a
we're
good
not doing
father.
that now.
No. So the government has made it very. I mean, obviously we're not primitive anymore. No one
Right.
has to worry about going out here to fight in forest
Shit,
and
you ain't
woods.
gotta
for
worry about
food,
calling you
right?
nobody- like they gotta call you the N-word
but-
no more at this
right.
point.
So we're not as primitive as we used to be. So
Yeah,
there
we
are
gotta
some
rub sticks
drawbacks
together no more.
there. But still, like an example is, I gave my daughter a car. My car. You remember my BMW?
yes.
I gave my daughter
Boy got
my.
a McLaren-looking BMW.
I
The
gave
shit, the wheels fold
gave-
underneath it when he parks, so you can't carjack.
Batman got that and Bruce Wayne. Nigga, but I gave her that car at 16, right?
got
That
a
was her
scooter,
16th
though.
birthday, right?
16.
But the thing is, I told her that if you were a boy, I never would have given you a car until you
Absolutely.
were
That's fucked
married
up, though, man.
and you had your first child. I would have got you a car. No, it's real talk because boys he would have been trying to impress some girl somewhere or have a bunch
I
of
agree.
dudes in his car
That's
driving
your fault
around.
then. That's how you raised then.
No, that's just boys
Y'all
and
fuck all
that's
what y'all
just
talking about,
boys
bro.
and well, I'll expound. It's just boys in nature. Boys in nature are more aggressive and they want to do more things. They
I'm
want
not
to,
ever argue that,
They're
yeah.
into sports, right? They're just it's just in their nature.
gotta be
you
a line, though.
You can control it. You can
Right.
sort of mitigate it, but at the end of the day, that is a separate being. That is, you have to trust that they won't do stupid shit.
So
most boys will do stupid shit.
We are.
No
I
matter
did
how
so much
responsible you
stupid
are,
shit.
you gonna see something with a big booty.
I did.
Woo, say
Well,
it again. Someone
it
with a
depends
what?
on
Go, go.
influence. It depends
Oh,
on influence.
Jesus.
You could be the strongest young man you want. You could be Obama's son if he had one.
Right.
If the right girl came along, he gonna do some stupid stuff.
Obama gonna have more grandchildren.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is that if my son would have to go through things, it's not about him doing
You
stupid
want-
stuff.
you
I
want him to go
want him
through
to
things.
go through like riding a
Right.
bike, because I rode my bike in the wintertime.
my first job.
I didn't have a car when the winters
Yep.
we hitting it, so I had to ride to and from work at
Seventh
negative 2
grade.
degree
Yeah.
weather on my bike. Yeah, and people would
For
laugh at me too
$2.50 an
because
hour.
when I go grocery
I
shopping,
would've
I would
laughed
have
too,
my
though.
grocery shop on my handlebars and I'd be riding, and I look at cars, they literally be laughing at me,
Yeah.
but I'm like, hey, I ain't got no other option.
Right.
But now, what do you say about my car?
Oh yeah, the fucking wheels fall underneath it.
But now,
Profits is up.
but yeah,
Profits is up.
I can go get as many
he got the
BMWs as I want to.
DeLorean, really. He got
I
the
can go get as
DeLorean,
many
yeah.
BMWs as I want to.
Exactly.
And that's what happened. I got off the plane from a college visit with my daughter, and we went straight to the BMW dealership, and I was like, you're about to be 16. I'm going to get me a new car, and I'm going to give you mine. Right? So, and it took us maybe 2 hours to do that. And I said, this is... especially giving an example as a man, I was like, this is the type of man you want in your life,
yeah.
right? Is a man that has worked hard and can take you to a dealership and say, here's your car, and then leave, right?
And it's not even just about the material possession, but it's about the fact that that's a decision that can be made.
He's capable,
Yes,
right?
it's
He's
a decision
capable.
that can be made.
That's what I'm trying to
More
prove to her.
importantly, he's capable.
Is
He's
there an
capable.
adverse effect to that then? Because if you want your son
It
to go
can
through
be.
something,
It can be.
But you making it super easy for your daughter.
Negative. My daughter has a very tough time. Here's her tough time. She has to ensure that she is able to be the right kind of woman for the man she's looking for. That's her struggle.
Talk your shit.
Mindset, right? Her hindsight for making decisions, her ability to choose the right man to do that early.
Right kind of woman for the man she wants.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
She knows she has to provide a service.
Yeah, there's something.
She,
well, not
she knows she has
No,
to.
he doesn't have daughters. I have daughters, so I get it.
He got-
She
I get
knows. She knows she has to provide.
None of this you're talking about.
You got
She
three
knows.
Talking about something totally different.
She
I'm
knows
listening
she
though.
has to provide a service, right?
No, no,
right.
no.
Here's
He just means she has to be a partner. He's
No.
just saying that-
I'm
No,
breaking
let
it down.
him
I'm
talk,
breaking
let
it
him
down.
talk.
So a man has to provide a service regardless. He has to protect her.
Our services,
Right.
We have to gain our services through life. Women
Right.
are born what makes them valuable, period.
100%. But here's the thing. She has to maintain, right? So after getting the right kind of guidance. So for a man, he has to protect. He has to provide, right? He has to ensure that.
Produce.
Yeah.
Ensure legacy.
Make
I wish-
sure
I
her
wish so
life
far,
is
come on.
safe, right?
Right.
But what does the woman have to do in return? She has to ensure that she is accepting of his leadership. She respects him. She is able to give him a legacy, right? But then also she has to ensure that whatever he needs, she meets his needs so that he can continue to provide for the family.
So somehow I think
she's traditional, by the way.
My
She's-
focus should be not telling you how to father, because I've done a great job
Yeah,
at it.
for
You know what I'm saying? You should. I can't tell you what the fuck to do, but I think it sounds like you want to be focused on vetting the man that she wants to date to make sure she will be submissive to them or be able to. They're worth following.
No, she will already recognize that. She doesn't have to vet anything. She's using me as a metric and her grandfather as a metric for identifying the right man. He shouldn't have to prove himself. He should already be and come from a good family,
How
and
she
she
know this
recognizes
stuff? Okay,
and she
okay.
recognizes it. You see what I'm saying? And then
interesting.
that's that. There's no vetting. She don't have to, well, where do you want to work?
So wait,
What kind of salary you got? How
I'm
much
gonna throw a
money
wrench
you
in the
make?
program. I'm gonna throw a wrench in the program. So
no.
she,
Okay,
go ahead, you do
Well,
it. Yeah.
No, I totally get what you're saying. I have two daughters.
You don't
right?
fuck about that, bro.
And
I don't give a fuck about that shit either, though.
No, let me tell you.
You know what I'm saying? Shit don't fucking matter,
no,
man.
No, it does. I'm
It
gonna
don't.
tell you why. A, you don't have a daughter.
I don't give a fuck. I got kids.
You got
Yeah,
kids.
I got kids, bro. I got kids. What you mean?
Listen. As a father, when you have daughters,
That's that girl dad bullshit y'all was on. That
No,
girl,
listen,
y'all,
listen.
you a
Why is
fucking
it
parent, bro.
bullshit? Let him finish.
It's dumb shit, bro.
Let him finish.
I've seen both spectrums of it, right? One of my daughters grew up in my household, the other one didn't. They are total polar opposites, right? Because the things that I tried to put in one, it didn't work with
Pause.
the other, right? You know what I'm saying? When you
Yeah, it's so unnecessary.
But when the child that grew up with me in my household, she knows the guys that she's brought home. For the
Quality
most-
of life, then.
No, it's not quality of life. It is her recognizing what my dad would expect.
Yeah, the traits.
She knows, right? The other just makes bad decisions when it
Why
comes
is that
to
though?
men.
Why is that? Why she make bad decisions?
Well,
It should be a simple answer
It's
too.
just probably guidance. It's just lack of guidance or
The quality of life
representation.
provided to them are both different.
Yeah.
The rental
Okay,
program.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay,
It's
okay.
both fucking different, bro.
The thing that he's bringing up, at least to what you were talking about, is that in the event that she doesn't follow that, right? In the event that she doesn't take that model that you laid out, right? That she doesn't recognize
Mark Anthony model.
the same the Mark
Anthony model.
that she doesn't recognize up front, that it's not as clear to her, and she does find a path towards someone that you do not see to fit. How do you respond?
We talked
to
about that. We talked about that real deep. So here's the thing. I don't have any expectations for my daughter. I just want to level set that.
Okay.
I didn't tell her you need to do this, you need to do that.
Facts.
I asked her, what do you want out of life right now as a young girl? Because I told her, you got these next 3 years, 16, 17, 18, or 19, around there, are going to define the rest of your life.
Facts.
When you go through
That's a real
college and all
thing.
that, like
Yeah.
you're pretty much, whatever you pick right now
That's true. One
is
year after that,
the
I was selling
mindset you're
CDs.
building for the future. So if you want to go skating with your mom at night, you know, doing all this crazy freedom stuff, you're probably not going to be a
said
traditional
crazy freedom.
woman, right? Because that's not a traditional marriage. You can find a
Fact.
modern
It should be
marriage,
a modern one, yeah,
he's-
exactly.
right.
Why
But-
did that term become such a bad word
but
though now?
it's not. It's just I
crazy.
want her to pick a lane that she feels comfortable with,
Yeah.
and she can say that down the road when she's 40, if she doesn't have any kids, that well, I chose this and I'm happy making money, driving my Mercedes and doing whatever. I may not have kids, but this is the lane I chose when I was 18, 19, 20 or whatever. I just said, hey, this is what I'm going to focus on and be good at it. But she said, I want to be like my grandmother, where I want kids and I want my husband to work and I want to support him, and then turn around when my kids are grown, I will have my own salon with his money. Right? So, because she put an investment in to give him what he wanted, make sure the kids are good, and now it's her time to reap the benefits of her investment.
Is this marriage?
This is her
tied?
thing. This is
no,
her-
I'm just saying. Like in her mind, do you think marriage has to be a part of that, or is it just how she partners with the person?
She wants to be married. I don't control any of her thought
No, I
process.
know that.
Yeah.
But I guess
So-
what I'm saying is, because I'm saying that to say that in a similar way, another friend of mine who's a barber, he said he got married very early, and part of his conversation was similar to what you just said, which was that him and his wife got married early, and because of that, they built their businesses very early. And so his wife owns several beauty salons.
Yes.
They
There
own
you
several
go.
pieces of property.
Perfect
right?
example.
So it's just like, so I guess what I'm saying is like, in some ways, some people might take what you're saying that it's about having a husband
Negative.
versus
No.
a partner is what
No.
I'm saying.
So in that regard, it will be a partner, right?
Because if she
But-
was, let's say it
right.
wasn't a man.
No, it doesn't
Right.
matter. It doesn't matter what it is.
Right.
Like her significant other.
Right.
I don't care what
Right,
she
right,
does.
right.
I just want to make sure that whatever she strives for, she's successful at it. That's my only, as a
Gotcha,
father,
gotcha.
that's my only purpose in her life, is to make sure that whatever she wants to do, she succeeds.
And to lay some example
I
for how.
I gave her the foundation already. That's already set.
It sounds like when you lay the example, you hope that they pick someone, right, that is aligned with what you tried to
That's
teach
what I'm trying to say though.
I
That's what
don't
I'm saying.
care.
you
I don't
happy.
care.
Not to
But
make me happy at all.
I don't care. I don't have to live with that person.
Exactly. I
My
don't
daughter does, right? She when I
has to
die,
live with
my
her
daughter can't
decisions.
say my dad made me do this or my dad I didn't live up to his.
Why you gotta die, though? Damn.
I even told her, hey, look.
Goddamn, man.
But I told her, like,
Drastic.
the one thing I told her that flipped her out, which was crazy, and she told her grandparents the same way, and they was like, what? I told her I would never be proud of you.
Wow.
I had to lay that down like
Okay.
ASAP. I will never be
Okay.
proud of you because
I
for
get
her,
where it is.
yeah, for her to be for me to be proud of her, she would have to live up to my expectation, right? I told her I don't have any expectations of you other than you do what you want and you're happy when
You're
you
happy
do
with
it,
it.
right? And then you can live with that.
Oh, so it's not for me to decide
No,
what
I
would
don't.
make me
yeah,
proud.
see, I
Well,
have
I
no
like that.
expectations
I
for my
like that.
daughter. So,
Gotcha.
so as long as she makes decisions that
I
she
like
feels
that.
the best
I'm gonna be
for
quick,
her
though.
outcome and her solution, I'm cool. I'm all the way good.
I think what
Same fucking way.
absolutely. I think what I was saying was this though, and I think what I was saying was this. I'm trying to give an example. You know, you have, since we're talking about BMWs. Let's take a car. You have the basic model. Let's take the Charger or the Challenger. Okay, you have the basic sedan. Then you have the SXT.
SR,
then the SRT.
Yeah,
Then you got the motherfucking 392
Hellcat.
engine.
Hellcat.
So I think what I get from what you were saying was, when I was asking how does she vet me, and you say she won't have to because she already know what's a winner. I think you how do I say it? There's a base model of what she's looking for in a man, like kind of household mindset, this, that. That's what I was trying to say
Yeah,
earlier.
she
though.
has her attributes
Right,
that
and
she's
anything
looking
else
for.
is an upgrade, add on to it. And if she can help him do that, she's
Yes.
ready for that. Okay, so now it makes more sense.
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean,
cool.
it's about partnership.
See how I broke that shit down?
It's gotta be. He's providing, she's
I was stupid.
providing. It can't be one-sided.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Gotcha. God bless your soul, man.
25, 24, 19.
You was fucking.
You was juicing.
He said that every time somebody said they had kids. You was having sex.
Back to back to
Back
back.
to back, no. Back to back, though.
Science.
And my whole thing was, and what you was saying, I was teaching them the same way. You know, you can look at me and yeah, you did all these got in cars, houses, all that stuff. Oh, you already know what it is.
Right.
You know you know what it can be.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Okay, cool.
Your dad is right here.
Yep.
Can you go beyond?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
the whole thing with my daughter. Can you go beyond
Mm-hmm.
dad and everything else
Yes.
without the bullshit?
The only way I'm a challenge.
Yes.
Leave the bullshit
I hear you.
because I've already talked to you about the bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Now, see, the only thing that I see that I personally, I don't have no kids. I'm the only one here. Ain't
Yes,
got
you
no
do.
kids,
He don't claim them
right?
though.
I'm a
No, it's
teacher,
excellent.
whatever. I don't have no children, right? But what's ill is I do have sisters, and I do have the experience through education of meeting a lot of younger women.
Yeah,
younger
so you-
women with
the
kids,
mindset.
younger women
Kid- Kid
whose
Kelly.
fathers who were not there, right? Like all the different dynamics, right? And one of the things that comes up in that place of what I've shown you what to do and what not to do. I think, and this is part of what he's saying, is that there's also a part where they will either follow that or they won't.
Mm-hmm.
And in some cases, showing them the bullshit is actually pointing them to the bullshit.
Right. You told this story before. Yeah, absolutely.
And for me, that was kind of a realizing moment. It's like, here I thought I was setting a great foundation.
Yep.
And really all I was doing was reselling
giving it
you
the
the
addict
same
to the
bullshit.
bullshit
that was sold to
Yeah,
me.
see, cool.
And then in reverse, that I do have the experience where the father archetype is not the relationship that they seek guidance from.
Yeah, the one thing I'm gonna say real quick, and then I'll end
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Take your time,
I mean,
bro.
we all got to end because it's time to go.
It's time to go. But
Right.
the one thing I will like about today's society is that it's easy to get content. It's very easy to get content. My daughter, she watches a lot of old TV shows that we grew up with, like
Dig it.
Martin,
Fresh Prince, right.
Living
Overrated.
Single.
Yeah, Living Single.
Like,
They hate
like,
it. He hates it.
Yeah, but I mean,
It's a great show. I
like
just want you to know, it's a
Family
great show.
Matters, all that
Yeah.
stuff. Like
Yeah.
we grew up with.
Also
But
garbage.
Black families on TV. It was the first time we saw
she
black
watches a
families
lot
and
of
friends
that
on TV.
shit. And she told me that she watched Insecure because we were talking about her future and what she wants to do with her business degree and all this other stuff. And she said, "Well, I watched Insecure and I saw the lady
Great
on
show.
there who's a lawyer,
Molly.
the one with the big lips."
Yeah, Molly.
Hey,
okay.
Molly, girl.
So she said, I don't want to be nothing like that. I don't, because she was saying, I'm a lawyer, I'm attractive, I'm successful. Why am I single? And she was like, Dad, I don't want none of that. I
Right.
don't. So it's
Right.
great that I love that we have so much content that she can digest because she's very decisive and able to recognize the bullshit.
Yeah, yeah.
She can clearly see it as day. So she saw that and said, that's not the life I
Not
want.
what she want.
So like now she can go after the example she wants, which is like her grandmother. She's really close to her grandma, and they're very traditional. They're millionaires. They got a lot of money.
This is
And
her
mother's-
mother's,
yeah,
okay,
Christine,
maternal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she saw that side, and they got married in college, like right out of college.
Yeah, they're
He got a
the
job in
old
that-
school model.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's and her uncle served in the Marine Corps when I did as well, and they're going on baby number 2, and he is a regular guy, does construction, electrician work or whatever, but he's a simple dude.
Man, we
and I
gotta-
told
we
my
gotta
daughter,
bring that
you got to get a
conversation
simple
back.
guy. Like, don't be trying to get no flashy basketball player, rapper, and any of that stuff.
No bosses.
But I told
Look
her.
for your bosses.
But I told
That ain't
her.
where to go.
I told her what. Look, really quick, I'm gonna shut up. But I told her what you get when you get that, right? I said if you do want a flashy lifestyle, you want to have fancy things, and he may cheat on you. You could go for that, but just understand what you're getting into.
What you getting into?
Yeah.
Yes,
The
and I
relationship
told her, I asked her,
may
"What do you?" I said,
Everybody cheat.
I said, "What do you value?" Well, it's they're only as available as their options, right? They're only as faithful as their
Talk that
options.
talk. Talk that talk. Come on.
So I told her that what are the two? What's top for you? Is it loyalty that he doesn't cheat or
Provision.
providing?
Yep.
Which one do you want?
Right.
You can only pick one. And she was like, "I'd rather be provided for." I was like, "Okay, cool. You're gonna be very successful at getting married." Because the other stuff is for the birds, like that. As long as he's doing
That's why
all
we
of
call
his
y'all birds sometimes.
responsibilities,
Bars.
he's doing what he's supposed to do as a man and a husband, right? And I told her, like, this last thing I'm saying, I'm done. But I told her, when women say they're queens, I always laugh. I always laugh really, really loud.
Talk
like
your
really
shit.
loud. Because queens, if women really realize the
What a queen
mindset of a
does.
queen,
Yes, come on.
bro. Like the king will go have sex with the villager ladies in the little
$40 holla.
horse stables, right?
Yep.
And leave them there in the village.
$40.
But when the parade came around, the queen is just up there like, you can't come up here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. But and they're like, what? Dude, you got a little
This is funny
ding-a-ling
shit,
from
bro.
the king? Are you kidding me? Like, I don't care if you got his little dingling. I am a queen. I make princes and princesses.
So when you
What is
said you
wrong?
laugh, why do you laugh?
Because women who say they're queens don't
Are
think
not.
like that.
Oh,
they don't think
I
like
see
that.
what
They're
you're
all about,
saying.
he better not cheat on me. He better blah, blah, blah.
I
But the
got it.
women
Know
who
your
got
worth,
the
queen.
bag,
They're
who
not
don't have to
actually
work, who
sitting in
sip
the
tea with their
throne.
pinky
Wow.
up at the racetrack,
That's
they
interesting.
don't care what Dave and
Kentucky
Dan and Steve
Derby.
are doing with their little dangalangs. They got millions of dollars. Their kids go to Harvard.
There's
they
a
have
lot
yachts.
there, though.
They
Or
have
Lane
jets.
Tech. They go to Lane Tech too.
But those are the true
Not
queens,
proviso.
the ones that don't even mention it.
That's interesting.
Because they know that Dan and Steve, the girls they having sex with, get none of their money, none of the pension, none of the insurance.
You preaching, dog.
You
That's
know what I'm saying?
interesting.
So my
Though.
daughter is one of those that's gonna resonate. Exactly. He had to get something off, like taking a piss, and now he's back home with his family. We about to go to the summer cabin.
Steakhouse.
Goddamn-
We got to
Right,
bring this
thank
right
you.
back.
We got-
This
we
all
got-
done,
we got-
but like,
we
this
got-
has
we
so
got-
many.
Yeah, bro.
But that is real.
This has so many tentacles, but there's some controversial.
Let's run it back. We got, you know,
It
man.
ain't
We
controversial
way
at all.
over, but it was.
You
I
love it or
didn't-
you don't.
I didn't want to shut it down because it was some good
Yeah,
shit.
nah, we
that needed
gotta
to be
go.
heard.
Real shit, man.
I will say though, like final words, real quick, because that's a conversation we got to bring back. But you know, as we end the year 2022, and we're going into 2023, are you one of them cats that's like, all right, new me, new something, or is it like just another day under the same umbrella?
I just reassess. That's all I do. I don't do anything really different other than reassess, and I acclimate based on the outcome I want.
Yep.
So that's it. But I'm also moving to Montana, so that's a big
You doing what?
Right, he texted me this morning like, yeah, by the way, man, I'm moving to the bush.
yeah, I'm getting out of here. Yeah, I'm done with the whole city thing, so I'm just gonna sell my real estate stuff and just move to Montana.
That's mad at you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
why
it'll be
not?
acres, lands, yeah, and then how? Yeah.
Kanye, here you
I'm gonna
come,
get some
Kanye.
horses and.
Nah, he is in Wyoming.
Wyoming, okay, right.
That's
They
what I wanted to
close.
get to. So
Wyoming.
typically Wyoming or Montana,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's dope.
You went to school in Idaho. You went to the least black populated states that you can find to play basketball. Was your father a Black
the
Panther?
fittest.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh
That's
yeah,
what I'm saying.
he like I got all the ways to get it out. And Kelly, hey, I'm gonna come outside one day and the Chicago parking sign.
you go.
Kelly just gonna turn he like, what's up, dog?
Hey, man.
He gonna be camouflage 482-117 parking sign. Like, what up, dog?
You out of control, man.
Hey, before we get out of here, I saw something that was very interesting. Or I heard something and it resonated with me in reference to.
It's your fifth time before we get out of here.
No, it actually
Y'all,
is. It
but y'all
actually
sound like
is.
preachers up
Actually
here.
is.
I don't be before you long.
To my children, okay, I want y'all to hear this and hear this well. My ceiling is your floor. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And you can go way higher than me. And I'm gonna leave it at that.
I hate you,
that's
man.
right.
Leave it at that.
I hate
Leave it at
everybody
that,
that's shaking their head right now. It's
Yeah.
all for y'all.
You know,
I hate y'all.
Yeah.
it's
I like
the corner
that.
Be like
convo.
Michael Jordan.
man.
My ceiling is the roof.
Yeah.
Be like
Why
Mike,
is
though.
this white man spending?
It's the corner convo, man. This is episode 127,
That's,
man. We
In the
out.
books.
That's traditional masculinity right there.
Is that what that is?
The modern masculinity.
Modern. Yeah, modern. This boy got
Modern
blue
masculinity.
tights.
We are downtrodden.
Oh, no.
Why is that impressive, though?